Go.
Yeah. My name is Phil Beckwith. I'm the head publisher over at PB Publishing. I publish Steam Guild titles and super cool, fun stuff over at Drive Through RPG. Go have a look or follow me on Twitter. Um, I'm playing Liam today, who is a frontline medic sort who is rushing into something he's not quite sure he should be.
Okay. Amber, do you want to take it up?
Hello, I am Amber Lynn. Those of you out there may know me as the Rebel Selkie throughout the internet. I am a player of many games and a wrangler of many children. I am playing the non binary character Ash today, who is a wonderful human being. And as it turns out, they just recently found out that they are a Scion and is very confused and kind of angry about that. So we'll see where that goes. I know. All right.
Rune.
Oh, sorry. Hello. I am Rune. I do Rune things. No, I am a illustrator for tabletop role playing games. Currently freelancing with Cubicle 7 on Age of Sigmar and other projects. I am playing Michael Kettering, who is also non-binary, and an incarnation of Balder, apparently.
Yes, we will start with your visitation because
Oh,
you triggered it in the first session
and then I wasn't here.
missed the second session. So,
Sorry about that.
is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's it. I'm Rune. I do art things.
Okay. Josh.
Hello, I'm Joshua Deach. My day, night, sometimes sleeping job is writing for video games, tabletop games. I've got a cat now, including properties for the Onyx Path. And today I'll be playing Isabel King, who is a scion of Heru, otherwise known as Horus, from the Egyptian pantheon.
And
Nobody cares about everything else you're doing. You have a cat.
yeah,
I have a cat.
The string
Yes.
stops
Stop
rolling on
everything.
the cat now.
Her name's Lygia.
Oh.
Lygia?
Yeah, like the Poe story. Or the Vincent Price movie, which features a black cat, even though the story doesn't.
Artistic license.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Ryan. I'm the story guide. I wrote the adventure that we're playing. It's available. It's the thumbnail, bottom corner of the stream. It's available on Storypath Nexus and by extension Drive Through RPG. And hopefully by this time next week, I'll have version 1.1 up with some clarifications, edits, and minor alterations for ease of use. Also, we have a canon name for Ash's pet fox now, so that has been added to the document, which I guess would make, if this were a paid product, the version 1.0 would then be quite valuable, but it's not. Alas, it's pay what you want. I've sent out the social media posts, so we are good to go. Would any of my darling players like to recap for Rune's sake, or would you like me to do it?
Doesn't matter. Would you like? I feel like you would probably be a bit more concise than the rest of us. Ryan, would you like to do the recap?
Sure thing. Okay, so session 1, you all went to a festival, a storytelling festival, but carnival games and stuff. Got to grips with the system because this is designed as an introductory adventure, so there's like carnival games to take part in, diversions, distractions, what have you, to get you rolling dice and used to how the game works. And then at the as kind of the sunset at the festival, a gang kind of broke in, started causing trouble through a combination of kicking people into porta cabins and talking people down. You resolved the situation in your immediate environment and basically told the Scion who was running the festival if he needed any help, just to let you guys know. And he was grateful, but just asked that you cooperate with the police, basically. Thereupon you kind of left and made a plan of action to investigate anyway. At the festival, as Josh mentioned, Isabel discovered that she was a sign of Heru, which is the Egyptian term for Horus. If people know the Greek name, well, people do just know Greek names better, and kind of had that to deal with, and the second session was kind of dealing with that, and some investigation kind of using Ash's contacts among the street kids to try and figure out more about this gang. I believe Isabel contacted her father about the gang and discovered that some of the gangs are kind of playing up and going to areas they're not usually associated with. Liam went to the hospital and gained some information on an overdose victim that his kind of colleagues there thought could be related to the drug that the gang is at the festival had taken, but there were no solid leads from that because it's a new drug. They have no idea what's in it or how it works. In fact, the most experience anyone has with it is what you have with it, in that it just makes people really strong, and seem to vomit up black viscous liquid. Sometime during this, you also all went to the police station. You gave official statements, picked up a few more clues mostly through the investigating officer kind of absent-mindedly cross-referencing notes and revealing a business card, mumbling something under her breath about timber carrying tongs, and generally doing her job, but also she's interviewed a lot of people. She was very tired, and things were being letting things slip, shall we say. As a side note, it was nice of you to decide to investigate, because it means I didn't have to not railroad you, but there's a divine compulsion to investigate if you don't, let's say.
All right.
In the form of either the character who isn't missing has a muse, because she's a sign of they're a sign of Apollo, so either the muse compels you, or Andre, the Scion who ran the festival, compels you, because this is a big deal. Something big is happening. After that, you started and after Ash got a phone call from the kid that they'd spoken to about trying to kind of get the word out, trying to find where this gang is based. They discovered, I believe I named him Isaac, was missing. Was last seen heading towards the river district, or towards the river in Acorn Grove, which is the redevelopment area. The gang is the Demon Barbers are generally based. I talk with my hands, which the camera's a bit zoomed in, so hold on in frame. So you headed there. You had the choice of 2 industrial yards that fit the profile according to the clues that you had. You went to the wrong one first, unfortunately. That's just how it goes. But you did discover Inari trying to help a homeless man get out of the way of the storm that's rolling into Oakvale, the city, the town that you're in. What followed was hopefully a really socially awkward conversation, as Inari admitted that they had lost Ash in the system, that they had specifically created Ash to help fix. There we go. And then you headed to the Morrison's freight yard, the other freight yard that you had kind of highlighted as a potential base for the gang. So we're going to rewind time a little bit to the kind of the night before. So before everyone's gone to the police. Michael, you could have gone to the police anyway, just separately. But the night before, Michael, you have odd dreams. They feel real, more real than any dream you've ever had before. And you dream of smoke and fire and laughter. You dream of both a longhouse and many buildings at the same time, of a family surrounding you that you kind of instinctively recognize as your own, but they're people that you've never met. And as kind of your body starts kicking you into that wakefulness, the dream takes on a more sinister's the wrong word, ominous tone, I guess, as voices in the crowd start kind of prompting your dream self to just stand there and let them throw things at you, let them try to hurt you in as many creative and inventive ways as they possibly can. And as it's following dream logic, you can't refuse. This is just how the dream goes. and you stand there as they break tables over you. People try to stab you. People try to brand you with hot coals from the fire, and then kind of in both the same longhouse and a different house at the same time, someone tries to run you through with a longsword, but of medieval European longsword, and someone hits you with what you recognise as an electric iron over the head, and nothing ever works. There's no pain, there's no death, there's no injury, until quite clearly you see two figures, one blind, their eyes completely white, hunched back, infirm. The other indeterminate gender. You instinctively kind of both trust and distrust them at the same time, and they wear many faces as these buildings flicker through your consciousness. But the one kind of constant between these two figures is the taller sighted one handing the blind one a dart of some kind of wood with a leaf growing out of the end of it. And you wake up as that dart pierces your chest and stops your heart momentarily, and you wake up with, does anyone have, it's called precardial catch syndrome or something? I can never remember the actual name of it, but it's essentially, I have it sometimes. When you breathe in, it feels like your heart's kind of stopping momentarily. It really hurts. It kind of feels like that, and then kind of full consciousness overtakes you. And while you know that there's stuff you don't fully understand about that dream, you've had that dream before. You remember somehow, somewhere, somewhen, having that dream before, and having it many, many times, and living many, many lives, and that you've just know instinctively that you've just awoken to a truth far greater than you are. It's up to you, Rune, if Michael realizes exactly who he is, but the seeds have been sown if he doesn't, to investigate.
Huh. I need coffee.
That's fair.
Michael gets upstairs at the wall for approximately 15 seconds and then takes a deep breath, gets on with his day. He'll figure it out later.
Yeah. It's always awkward having, because the other three types of Scion you can be are kind of very obvious. The visitation is you meet your divine patron, but it's kind of, you are the patron in this instance, so how do you represent that? Anyway, and then you can just end up at the Morrison Freight Yard when everyone else gets there. I'm just assuming you're all in contact at this point.
Sure, you guys text me.
Stated goal, yeah, exactly. So the Morrison Freight Yard is in the Acorn Grove district of Oakvale. It's an area of stored redevelopment, so kind of a lot of the roads and pavements or sidewalks, if you prefer, have within the last 5 years been replaced, so there aren't that many potholes. The flagstones are still looking mostly clean. None of them rock when you step on them wrong. It's that kind of thing. But the buildings themselves were never actually invested in properly, so a lot of them are it's like old, decaying, probably like 70s, 80s brutalist concrete blocks, essentially. A lot of the ground floor windows are either shattered, boarded up, or both. Several the nearby buildings, you can see missing window panes or sections of window where the glass has also been broken. And the Morrison's Freight Yard itself, you know, is along the river, because that was what you followed to get here, essentially. And you can see a handful of very clearly industrial buildings. These are more, like corrugated iron and steel buildings, warehouses, workshops, that kind of thing. There is, towards the river, 2 small cargo, like cranes. So not the full height of a construction crane, but big enough to take something off of a train or a boat and put it on the floor, essentially.
Is there any movement happening?
Not that you can see right now. However, you are kind of standing in front of the chain link fence, which, gate, I imagine, which does have a sign on it, where where is the? I don't want to give you the wrong name because that'll just confuse matters. I'm in the wrong PDF. Ah. The Scion says security provided by Cerberus systems and personnel. And it's got kind of a three-headed dog motif.
Yep.
But the gate itself is currently closed. It's not like chained shut, it's just closed.
Okay. So what do you reckon, friendos? Go in and see if we can go in and have a look.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
Mind is elsewhere today. Sorry. Hello. Going to go look at this thing. Yes. Right.
You okay, Michael?
Absolutely not. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. All right.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what are the chances? And I just kind of motioned to the sign that there is an actual giant three-headed dog in there guarding these things.
Oh, come on. Would these sorts of things be, I guess, known? Not a big Cerberus dog being a thing of reality?
You could make a logical inference, like you know that Scions exist, like you know that Andre was a Scion of Elegbara. But Oakvale itself, I think I mentioned this, like 5 weeks ago at this point. Oakvale itself has never had any major contact with the Divine, so every now and then, like a fire giant will be on the national news or another similarly large threat, but you've never, outside of myths, never actually encountered any reports of giant three-headed dogs rampaging through a city. Not to say they don't exist, but
yeah,
you never personally come across any reference to one.
Well, yeah, maybe Ash. I guess we could maybe sneak around the sides and see if we can see anything.
Or set a stake.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column 2. Why don't we just, let's just go with the plan we originally had, help ourselves in, and go from there. I am highly convinced that I am not going to be edible enough, and I will just feed them Isabella.
Isabel actually smiles at the possibility of a three-headed monster underworld dog.
Oh,
Fine.
The three-headed monster would rue the day that it met Isabella.
She is my knight, after all. It'll be fine.
Isabel would only be sad that she did not have 3 fists with which to punch him.
All right. Shall we then? Plan of action?
Yep. First, I'm gonna touch the fence, throw a stick or something at it to make sure it's not electrified.
The stick bounces off the fence, kind of rattles like chain link does. There does not appear to be any kind of crack of electricity, nor can you see any because it has a specific wire usually that it's running along.
Yeah.
You can't see any evidence of electrified fence.
Cool. I'll open the gate if possible.
Okay. Yeah, it's unlocked. It's just loud. It creaks and it's incredibly rusty as it swings open, and you do hear kind of a not a shout of alarm, but someone nearby has definitely heard the noise.
Oops. Do I see?
You can't currently. What you can see is kind of the narrow alley between two of these buildings, and then kind of they stretch out quite for, I guess, like the length of a block either side. These are big buildings.
Right. Is there anywhere to hide?
You could depending where they're coming from, obviously. You could go straight down the alleyway and just try to get to the end, further into the freight yard before they turn up to the gate. There's like a alleyway behind you could duck into across the street. There's currently no one nearby. Or you could take a chance and try to run left or right towards one of the doors you can see in the buildings and hope that A, it's unlocked, B, that there's no one in the building, and C, that that's not where the cry of not the noise of alertness came from.
Wait.
I spin around to my friends.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
You four, three. How many of us are there? Three. You three hide. I will be a distraction.
Cool. I try to hide behind the closest thing possible.
Okay.
As do I.
That was probably the car that you drove in on.
Yep.
Michael will wander in the opposite direction of their friends and start singing very, very loudly.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra.
Are you going through the gate or just continuing like along the external perimeter?
I'm just gonna wander through the gate. Fuck it.
Okay, that's fine. One of the doors. Why did that word take so long? One of the doors in the industrial buildings, I say the one to the right of you, opens, and a slightly overweight, middle-aged male presenting person kind of not wanders, but certainly moves with no great alacrity towards you, kind of pulling this rather battered hat on that matches the rest of his obviously security uniform. Do you have permission to be here? Hey, you!
I'm going to keep walking so that his back is turned towards the car. So I'm facing him.
Yes.
But he's looking the opposite direction.
He's looking at you right now. So you can go left and walk along the building that he didn't come out of, which would take you away from the car. Or you could just keep going straight down between the two buildings, which would also take you away from the car.
Which way looks more interesting?
Well, going straight between the buildings will take you deeper into the freight yard.
Delightful. I'll go that way.
Okay. So you're about halfway down the alleyway before you feel a hand on your shoulder. He has also kept trying to get you to stop, but you're humming pretty loudly.
Oh, hello, and see you there. I pretend to take off glasses I don't have.
Security, and you can see he's got like a security badge on.
Yes, that's what your very fine badge says.
Do you have permission to be here? Only I don't have anyone on my list. And
Absolutely, I have permission to be here.
Right, well, reaches towards where there's obviously supposed to be like a phone or a PDA or something on a belt clip, but it's not there. Looks down to see that it isn't there when his hand doesn't touch anything. Right, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me to check some paperwork.
Okay, that sounds great.
So he just leads you back up the alleyway and into the...
A
distraction!
Yeah, I'm going to try and sneak up there and get through that gate and start heading into the alleyway.
Yep. Anyone else doing anything?
I will head in that same direction as Liam.
Amber, you muted? Okay. Okay, so it's easy enough. That the gate's still open. He didn't close it. He was more interested in chasing after Michael. Yeah, you can follow the alleyway down to the end where you kind of just see more of the same, really. It's a wide open, expanse of cracked concrete, weeds growing up through the cracks. Rusted, burned out vehicles, some of which appear to have been moved to like a cluster in one end of it, but no one's actually ever removed them from the lot. Couple of just empty cargo containers. Their doors open, you can see they're empty. And then more buildings kind of scattered around. You can see in the distance next to another one of the buildings, like a flash of movement as two people in street clothes is just the easiest way to say it. Kind of walk around a corner, and you can hear like a really loud generator from somewhere relatively close by, but every now and then there's like an off note in it that tells you that this thing is not working properly.
Okay. Ash, did you recognize any of those guys?
Do I recognize any of them?
No, you didn't. You're reasonably far away
Yeah.
and
Okay. I
didn't
sort of,
see them for very long. It was kind of, oh hey, there are people there as they go.
Yeah, as they turn around the corner. Yeah.
The two cranes that I mentioned are behind one of the buildings in the direction of where the loud generator sound is coming from as well, if that is pertinent to your decision making.
are the cranes moving?
No, they are still. I mean, they're intact, but even from here you can tell like the steel hawsers somehow. Oh, well, steel isn't stainless by default. The steel hawsers rusting. One of them has no hook on it, and kind of the whole area is like up close. It just feels neglected.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say, come on, guys, and I'll sneak up to the corner, sort of try and peek my head around, stealthily if I can.
Yes, could you please make a it would be a stealth with any of your physical
So that will be a dexterity because I'm super dexterous.
Stupid dexterous, the only type of dexterity there ever is.
I'm either always heard or I'm a ghost.
So it's 8, 9, and 10
Are successes,
right?
and 10's reroll.
Yep. 2 successes.
Cool. Yeah. It's not a very difficult challenge. You get to the corner without kicking any of the debris that's scattered around, and peeking around. You can see 2 people. Hang on, I wrote something for this. I believe I wrote something for this anyway.
We're on track.
Well, it's more, I wrote conversations. You can see 2 people walking slowly, kind of heads down, just kicking through the way through the debris. But as you kind of look around the corner, they do shoot their heads left and right. They're obviously like keeping watch, just based on body language alone. And you dimly hear one of them say, "Why do we have to do it? It's not like he takes any interest anyway." And the second one replies, "Because he said to. You saw what happened to Alan." And then kind of they're too far away to hear any more of that conversation. They do appear to be heading towards a parallel line of rusted rails in the concrete that goes kind of towards where you know the river to be, that presumably might go to the river, might bend before that, but there's definitely some kind of rail network in this freight yard. You can see maybe, do you prefer yards or meters?
Oh, whatever everyone else does.
Feet.
Okay, feet and yards. Maybe about 30 feet away. 10 meters for those of you who prefer meters. Cue immature laughter if you find this kind of thing funny, but the bogie of a train.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the wheels and the basic chassis. Just seemingly abandoned on the tracks. And the 2 people kind of walk past it, and that's where they leave your hearing range.
Okay.
They're not having a quiet conversation.
Is there areas that I could sort of follow without having them sort of notice us?
Looking around, there are a couple more kind of, poking your head a bit around the corner to get a wider field of view. There are more burned out vehicles, or not burned out, vehicle wrecks, let's say, through just damage rather than malicious intent, kind of scattered around. You could potentially kind of hop from cover to cover.
I'll look at Isabel and Ash, and I say, should we follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Is there anything of interest in this area we're in right now? Like any rooms that have looked like they've been used or recently or anything like that?
Right now you're in kind of just
I didn't know if there was a door like anything that would lead off of the area we're in?
Yeah, there is a door nearby. You don't know if it's locked or unlocked. It's maybe like 6 feet away from where Liam's peeking around the corner, into just the warehouse that he's pushed up against. You don't know if it's locked or unlocked, and the sign above it just says Gerald's hand-blown glass. And it's kind of like a closed sign tacked to the outside of it.
Probably get Michael as well.
Yes. Speaking of, meanwhile, in the office. Right. Well, what's your name then? And the security guard goes over to a cluttered desk, cluttered mostly in like food wrapping. Kind of pushes through it slightly, knocks a empty cup off onto the floor, and then grabs a PDA, like old PDA style thing.
I'm going to, while he's shuffling through all of the food bits and desks.
Sorry. Does anyone want to change their knacks while
Oh, that's
not
a good
rolling
point.
dice?
I don't think knack. No, I think mine is pretty good at the moment. Soothing presence is pretty wild. So.
It is. It really is. You could also move 1 dot around as long as you kind of role play that change.
I'm good.
1 attribute to another attribute, or 1 skill to another skill. Swap out knacks or write short-term deeds, but we're not really using those for this. So.
Okay. No, but while he's looking at his desk, I'm going to any kind of official paperwork with a name on it that might be buried, like something that looks older.
Yeah. There is. Oh, where did that name go? There is a sheaf of papers of, let's say, evident age, based on the wear and tear and the yellowing of the paper, and it's kind of started to curl at the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of some of them stapled together, but all of them in like a elastic band, holding them all together. All with, as far as you can tell, all with the letterhead of Smythe's Industrial and Commercial Holdings. There are a couple of Cerberus branded kind of like memos, and then there is one kind of very old, almost entirely hidden by as they say, burger wrappers, police form. You only know it's police because you can make out the Oakvale Police Department heading. You can't see what else it is without, moving it.
I am looking for like the name of a CEO or somebody official.
Without kind of grabbing without picking up the Smythe stuff, you all the security stuff, you'd have to. It's all kind of obscured in the general mess.
That's fine. No, my name's Michael Kettering. I'm one of the secretaries for Smiles Company. Just here to investigate a few things.
Right. Well, your name's not on my list, and it's kind of got
It's a surprise visit.
Really going to town on the PDA. Oh, they were supposed to tell me about surprise visits. I don't handle them well.
What's the point of a surprise visit if they tell you?
Well, it's a surprise beforehand, and then they tell me that there's a visitor coming in like half an hour, and I've got time to prepare. And he's put the stylus down, is staring confusedly at the PDA, but is definitely trying to straighten his uniform slightly. Right. Well, if you're from Spies, what can I do for you?
Nothing. Stay here. I'm just gonna have a look around and see if the reports I've heard are true. Don't worry, I'll be in and out. Won't touch a thing.
Okay.
Thank you for your cooperation. I leave.
Okay. You get about halfway down the alleyway before you don't hear the door open, but it must be to hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to see some ID. And then like a stream of profanities, and then the loud sound of a door slamming.
Right, where I immediately flip out my phone, text my friends, "Where are you guys?"
I'm just gonna clip a quick picture and send it back with a shrug emoji.
Okay.
Hey, Isabel, do you want to run back and grab Michael?
Isabel nods and heads off in the direction that she thinks Michael is in.
I'm by the office.
Yeah, I mean, it's just back the way you came. It's not difficult to find.
All right, so we meet each other in the hall, I guess.
In the alleyway between the buildings, yeah.
Yeah, alleyway. Ah, hello. That was easy.
As you reach Michael, the grey clouds which had been slowly building overhead kind of darken quite abruptly, and the first drops of rain start to fall.
Ominous.
You can blame Travis for this. When I was writing this scene on stream, I was like, do I go for the pulp rainstorm or not? And he was like, go for the pulp all the time.
Travis has the power to control the weather. Yeah, I will take Michael in the direction of the others.
Okay. So you are led to the scene that I described earlier. The tracks rusting due to neglect and decay. Auto mod just bopped you, Rune.
That was me because I said fucking in chat.
I'll allow it this time.
That's the one for the stream.
Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one.
I'm just because I'm a mod on the channel. I'm gonna see if I can remove that term after the stream.
It's fine. I can censor it if you want.
Well,
It's
no,
just literally
because
making a dumb pun.
It's now been added to the allowed list of words
Nah, okay.
by Automod. So I'll figure that out after the stream.
Okay, dangerous game.
But this is like a mature stream anyway, so mature channel, I think. Anyway, so yes, you are with everyone. You can't see any people obviously patrolling now. They're long gone. But this is a pretty large area, and there is the tracks do bend. They do come towards you, and then an almost 90-degree turn towards what is obviously like a receiving warehouse of some kind, in the middle of this general area of the freight yard.
Can I check the tracks to see if they've got any sort of scrapings or scratches that might indicate they've been used recently?
Ooh, I'm just going to check something. Where's my scroll bar gone? Whoop. You can. I'm just trying to think. Did you have a skill in mind for that? It would almost definitely be a mental attribute.
Yeah, I'd probably use cunning.
Okay.
Try.
What skill though? Can you think of one?
Oh, sorry, skill. It's probably. I'm going to say. There's not a lot, is there?
I could see maybe technology, because being aware of the effects of rails, of train wheels on rails.
I've got 0 in technology, but we'll go with that. Ooh, that is 2 successes.
2 successes. You've been around long enough to have read enough procedural fiction or whatnot to note to look for shiny patches of metal that would indicate the train's been moving. There is nothing of that kind here.
What do you reckon, guys? We follow the two guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is a midnight train?
A midnight train.
Do you think it goes anywhere?
I was hoping you weren't going there, Rune.
See, I immediately went for midnight meat train, so.
Yeah, let's see where this goes. It might go anywhere.
Okay, the thing about rails is they go in 2 directions. Which direction are you going?
Yes, simultaneously.
The correct one.
One direction takes you to a warehouse, obviously like a receiving yard, because it's got a big double height, double width doors that you could fit a train in.
Right.
The other direction takes you towards where the sound of this faulty generator is. Like where the crane is and where you know the river to be based on just general direction sense.
Warehouse first.
Might as well, if it's closest, might as well check it out, and then can always head down towards the river.
Did anybody bring steak?
Not a big
Funny.
miss.
Real funny. I'm out here trying to make a lighthearted joke, and now you're actually trying to scare us.
Nah, nothing to be afraid of.
Maybe
Practically
we'll
gods.
Yeah, you guys are. I'm not. All right. Yeah, let's head towards the warehouse.
That was a joke. I'm not a god. I'm following Liam.
You're
Okay.
not. Most importantly, because that's a different book that's not out yet.
Yeah, we can't be gods yet, guys. The material hasn't been published yet.
Okay, you go to the warehouse anyway.
Fly me to the moon.
Absolutely.
Let me kiss
That's what I think.
fucking ass.
The rails continue in an arrow straight line to the warehouse. There is some amount of wind-blown debris just kind of trapped in them, like leaves and drinks vessels and things like that. But nothing. There's no bogey on the tracks. There's no damage to them as far as you can tell beyond just the ravages of time. And you don't hear or see anyone approaching as you get to the warehouse. The warehouse as you get to it, so I mentioned it has the double height, double width doors for a train, but there is a sally port in the in one of the doors that will admit people.
All right.
And kind of this end of what I'm going to refer to as the rail terminus, there are fewer destroyed vehicles lying around. There's no indication as just because someone's moved them to keep it clear, but there are just fewer vehicles here. And not all of the vehicles you can see are destroyed, they're just abandoned.
This is
Okay.
weird.
Yeah. Is there any windows or anything we could sort of peek in?
There would be, but not at a height that you are currently able to use.
All right.
Yeah,
Somebody
right
get on Isabel's shoulders.
All right. Isabel waits.
I vote for Ash.
Right.
Wait, who are the two tallest people in the party?
Quick, decide on character heights. Go.
6
Michael's pretty short.
Ash is probably 5'7", 5'8".
I think Isabel's pretty tall.
Tool.
6 foot.
So it's Isabel and Liam.
Sounds
Because
like
Michael's like 5'5", so he's small.
Okay. No worries. I'll walk up to Isabel and I'll say, "What's your strength?" Right.
I got this.
Just yeet.
I was gonna say she's just gonna yeet him through the glass.
Y'all, yeet. We're tossing gods in here, y'all.
Right, because this area is patrolled, I would like a roll from both of you. So one of you is going to be the primary actor, and then the other one can help them, which, if you recall, you add up to 3 successes to the primary actor's roll.
Can
I stand just look out?
Primary actor as
Sure.
well.
It would. I'm going to say this is a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So physical approach. Obviously, your choice
So-
of.
Is your fox with you?
Let's say might plus athletics.
Yep, that works.
Well,
Do you have anything in mind, Phil?
It's gonna be something completely different. Or does it have to be?
No, it can be any physical. It's physical arena. It can be any physical attribute, and then probably athletics. Maybe integrity, just as the kind of the like keeping yourself like mentally focused enough to do it.
Okay, I'm going to go dexterity, and which kind of makes sense, me sort of being up there.
Yeah, totally.
Oh no.
I mean,
And athletics.
I could try to assist to help keep Liam stable, but per usual, Ash is a very all dex, no flex character. So I could maybe use stamina to help stabilize.
Yeah. Any skill you had in mind?
Nothing that I have a dice in.
Fair.
Survival.
Persuade me, Amber. Persuade me.
This entire so I don't cause harm to the people around me.
That is technically survival.
Yeah.
And then we can help you survive after that, right?
What would your dice pool be if you rolled stamina and survival?
Not very big.
He constructs a crude winch system.
It would be 6.
I was
Okay.
gonna ask if your fox was around. We could just throw the fox.
So I mean, here's the thing: is that I am one to stick with canon, and because we didn't enter this under the assumption that Rowan was with us,
Ah, okay.
unless
Fair enough.
our lovely, beautiful, amazing, kind, ingenious, intelligent storyteller would like to ad-lib the fact that the fox may have followed me because the fox is a trained fox.
I'm very much of the opinion that if it's not been said and it has not would not have affected any previous roll, it's fine.
Okay.
So you
yeah.
can yeet the fox if you want, I guess.
We're not eating my fox. We're going no one's eating the fox. We're going to continue to let Liam look through the window, and if there is something that can or cannot be seen, we will scurry the fox in through the door, because no one's, with this place being so abandoned, no one's going to assume any ill intent if a fox is wandering around.
What does the fox scream as it's yeeted? Anyway, because of your
What
audacity,
does the fox eat?
I will award just +2 enhancement to the roll. You don't have to roll, Amber.
Okay.
I enjoyed your reasoning so much.
Just don't die.
So despite her great might, Isabel rolls no successes.
Oh
And there
Okay.
was a 1 in there, if that matters.
That's a botch.
no! You just throw Liam through the window. It's fine.
So because you had no successes, Liam's helping doesn't work either because
5 successes.
because of the way it works. So it's enhancements, but they are automatic extra successes that only apply if you succeed at the action.
Our improv class in the first game has cursed Isabel with comedic timing.
Did you say you got 1 success though, Phil?
I had 5 successes.
You had 5 successes. Okay, so what happens?
Oh, this is going to be good.
What happens is, you get on Isabel's shoulders fine. You kind of fingertips on the window ledge, just kind of looking through. And it's a bit dirty, so obviously you're trying to clean it as best you can. At the same time as you're doing that, Isabel sneezes quite loudly and quite forcefully, which causes her to double over. Slamming her head into the building, not enough to do any damage or anything, but to daze you momentarily, which the act of bending over and then the staggering backwards means that Liam's only holding on with his fingertips right now. Luckily, Ash is there and is doing what they can to support Liam's feet, but you have made quite a loud noise.
Are there any ravens around?
No, not that you can see.
Did I see anything?
No
Uh,
ravens.
through the window, which you have a clean pass now, you can see a pretty much mostly empty warehouse. There's a section of it that's walled off opposite you, kind of at the back wall, which there's like windows, a couple of doors at the bottom. This is like a 2-story warehouse. So ground floor and first floor, or first floor and second floor for people who prefer that way of notation. And kind of one door you can make out a sign that might read kind of shipping and handling kind of situation. The middle of the warehouse has a mostly intact train carriage in it, with a sorry, not train carriage, engine in it, train engine with a like a flatbed carriage behind it with a cargo container strapped to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all you can see. Obviously, you can't see past that because it's quite large, it's blocking line of sight.
Right, I'll relay that to my friends as I sort of
Which
ask
is
her,
it's when
I'm going to drop, just guide me down.
yeah, you get down easily enough with Ash's help.
Isabel, is your head okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
Kind of dusty.
Let me
Yeah.
He's had
let me take a
worse.
look at that.
Can I punch Isabel in the head?
I mean, if you
Oh.
want to.
No, I don't. Your head's okay? Great!
Somebody's spicy this morning.
I slept, so, I'm a little more energetic than usual.
No, I totally get it. You find out you're the child of a god and you just want to,
Punch things. Did that happen to you guys? What?
yeah.
Yeah, you guys all had
My
stuff
foster
happen.
yeah, there's
You would.
like
I
a
was
lot to
there for
cover
that.
during our next session. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
Michael would have been there for the conversation about, oh hey, I'm a son of Heru, but Michael wasn't there for the Inari.
No,
Okay.
I was not there for the anything. Wait, you too?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, because I've been having some weird ass dreams recently.
At least they gave you a warning. It just shows up out of nowhere in the middle of a.
No, I mean like it's me.
Huh?
What?
What? Can
Can
we have a mental breakdown later, please, friends? I will buy the first round of beer. I promise.
So we have the breakdown after we do the investigation. Cool.
Yes.
You can hear running footsteps approaching from,
Oh,
let's
shit.
say,
You two, you
the
three
nearest
into the
corner
warehouse.
of the warehouse.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Get in, shove.
Grabs at Rowan and just.
If you try the door, it is locked.
I will be leaning against whoever comes around the corner. I will be leaning against the warehouse with my hand on it, clutching my head.
Okay.
Is there any way for us to open that door? Does anyone have an ability to be able to unlock it, or?
Is it locked?
Yes. Whoever tried it, it is locked.
Motherfuck.
Yeah. There's no place for us to quickly dive around here, is there? Nothing
Not
to
without
hide behind.
starting a foot chase, because you'd be running quite fast and they'd hear your footsteps. The nearest kind of cover is probably, let's say, 6 yards away, and is a like a non-destroyed, potentially still functional box truck.
Point to truck. I'm okay. I just tripped. I'm good.
And I'm going to run and dive behind the box truck.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try to follow Liam as well, because whoever's here already presumably knows that Michael's here. So
Who keeps leaving these railroad ties around? This is a health and safety hazard.
you're getting fined for this.
I'll be speaking to my supervisors about the state of this place.
Where's
Those
my
who
red
will hear
pen?
about
The good one.
Where's the stapler?
Isabel, what you doing?
I'm following the other two in hiding.
Okay. You kind of slide or dart into cover just as two like either upper end of teens or low 20s, male presenting, kids, for want of a better word, round the corner. They're just wearing casual street clothes.
Hey.
One has like a straight razor tattooed on the neck that you can see.
Oh, good.
The other one has one on the back of the hand. What are you doing here?
I'm a health and safety infect. Whew, let me try that again. I'm a health and safety inspector for Smiles Corporation. What are you doing here?
That's our
Right.
patch.
Yeah, where's your parents?
None of your business. This is our patch. Go.
Ryan, do I recognize either of them as Isaac?
Neither of them are Isaac. You dimly remember seeing one. There's like a case file that the community outreach officer in the police kind of when she gave a lecture. You think they were one of the case files that she used as an example.
Yeah, all right, it's your patch, but I have a job to do, so I'm gonna do my job and then I'm gonna leave. All right, that cool?
Well, it won't be safe if you stay around here much longer.
That's fine by me. I'm not gonna be here for much longer.
I'm just gonna whisper to the two with me. As soon as they look like they're gonna reach for anything, we're gonna pop out.
Can I persuade these motherfuckers to just kind of piss off?
Yeah, how would you like to do that? If without a knack, that would obviously be a social approach.
Yeah, I have the soothing presence and then persuasion in up the craziness and manipulation. So, look, I'll break you a deal. I won't tell the cops you're out here if you just give me, 15 minutes? Got forms to fill in, gotta write this place up. I never saw you. You never saw me. Catch?
Okay, make your roll.
Do. Persuasion is dumb. Can I do persuasion manipulation? Is that cool?
Yes, you can.
3, 4,
Do you have any
5.
specialties that you think would apply?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Self-doubters.
Yeah, that'll definitely apply.
Cool.
Actually, as long as it's if that's in persuasion, obviously you can't, but I can't remember what that's in. So.
It is, but I also have the soothing presence thing. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, soothing presence just will give you an enhancement anyway.
Yeah.
Specializations don't apply to the skill they're attached to. They apply to every other skill. It's weird.
Oh yeah, forgot the system is funky. So it's 10. It's 10 d10s, right?
Okay, make that large roll.
And everything above a 5 is a success.
8, 9, 10 is a success. 10s you
Thank you.
reroll until you get no more 10s.
All right, exploding dice. Okay, that's
Yay! Exploding
that's a
dice.
success. That's a success. That's not. That is. Ouch! Not. That'd be 5 successes, 5 failures, no botches. No, 1 botch.
It's only a botch if you fail completely.
Okay, no. Yeah, well, it's 5 successes, so there you go.
Cool, 5 successes, and you get 1 enhancement to all applicable rolls to attempt to get someone to relax, calm down, or be welcoming. So.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, no, they're right, we didn't see you. 15
Cool.
minutes.
Thanks, buddy.
And they kind of just lean against the wall of the building and light cigarettes, essentially.
Neat. Okay. I don't have keys to this building. Shit.
That's up to you.
Um,
I have no experience in opening locks. Where the fuck is Isabel?
Behind the box truck, 6 yards away.
Okay, I will wander in the direction of the box truck and just kind of skirt around it. Yeah, all right, we got 15 minutes. Do something quick.
Okay.
are they still there?
Oh yeah, smoking cigarettes.
Fuck. Okay.
We just,
The rain starts to get quite heavy.
Ah, come on.
You hear 2 shouts of dismay from the warehouse.
mm,
Inside the warehouse?
They're from outside.
Okay.
you two guys.
Yeah, they're straight razor boys.
All right. Okay, I figured as much. Why don't you try to convince them to go for cover while you look for your keys?
I don't have keys.
I know.
Oh, lie. Right. Cool. I'm gonna actually wander back over to them.
Okay. They look suspiciously at you.
Hey, actually, can I get one of those? Can we get out of this rain? I'm talking about one of their cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, they offer you a pack. They offer you like the battered pack that they're taking them from.
I'll take one and kind of move with them, kind of try to like subtly influence them to step around the corner of the building under like an awning or something.
Yeah, they're happy enough to do that.
Cool. Fuck this rain, right? Sitting there like flipping the lighter open.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
Well, we were open. The forecast was wrong.
Nope.
The dim roll of thunder in the distance.
Okay.
Huh, reminds me of someone.
And once they're out of sight and around the corner, I'm just going go 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 go, and I like Izzy ahead of me to the door.
Okay.
Okay, Izzy, I know you know how to do this. Work your magic.
So Isabel's going to I mean she had an interesting childhood. She's going to try and figure out how to open this door.
Okay. Sorry. I would. What is your approach to this?
She'd actually like to use her intellect to figure out how this door works.
Okay.
And technology maybe
if you're trying to figure out like hinges and things like
that.
Yeah. Tech.
All right, cool. In that case,
engineering technology, but still technology.
All right. Two successes.
Kind of a couple of... You quickly figure out a couple of places where if you were to apply, let's say, sudden shot pressure, you could probably just kick the door open. And the lock itself, you don't think would be that difficult to pick if you had enough time and the right equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Short of that, if you had the right tools, you could just take it off its hinges. Because they're only like the like triangular metal pieces where the hinge has been attached to the door and the frame. So if you could just lever that piece of the hinge off, then the door would only be attached by the lock.
Okay.
Isabel,
emotion to this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, Isabel quietly relays these thoughts as she's kind of examining the door.
Okay.
I have an idea. You go first, Ash. You look like you've got a great idea too.
I'm assuming the sun. So, like, based off of my experience with storms, I'm assuming like a little rumble of thunder is happening every couple of 45 seconds to a minute or so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, we're gonna time it. Next time that happens, you're gonna boot the shit out of the door.
You read my mind.
Yeah. Internet high five. Ooh. Closest to a high five I've gotten in 6 weeks.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
All right. Isabel winds up and waits.
Okay. Is anyone helping Isabel keep track of when the thunder's going to occur? Okay.
Yeah. I'll just...
My storm.
If one of you wants to help in that way, that would be a mental approach.
Okay.
Not sure what skill it would be, but there would be a mental approach. Maybe survival, maybe science, depending on like meteorology stuff, or even leadership to get Isabel's attention at the right time.
I could do that with cunning and science, I reckon.
Or Liam, do you want to? I could time. Do you want to like help kick?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so kicking would be a physical, and probably either athletics or close combat.
I'm gonna go with might and close combat.
Yep.
I'll go might and athletics.
Cool. So again, Josh is rolling the primary pool, but the any successes that Phil, you and Amber and Phil get are enhancements to Josh's roll, up to a maximum of 3 per person.
Okay.
Or total. I can't remember which, but
Okay.
Well, this is the biggest die pool I've rolled so far, and it's 1 success.
okay.
I felt so confident hefting that many dice.
5?
5 for me.
Okay.
How many from you, Amber?
3.
Okay. The kick isn't terribly hard, but it's timed well enough, and the door is pretty old that you do kind of just not break the door down, but it's definitely hanging loose now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Rusty hinges.
And do we time it well enough with the thunder?
Yeah, there's no around the corner, Michael. You hear nothing beyond the rumble of the thunder.
Okay. So one more time with the thunder then, same rolls.
It's up to you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, now I want some unscrupulous contact named Rusty Hinges.
Right.
Yeah.
Please, it's pronounced hinge.
Hinge, 4 successes.
Rusty hinge. He goes
Nice
for
zero.
France.
Well, that wasn't bad. I got another 3 successes on my end.
Okay, that's enough to kick the door open. Timing it well enough with the thunder. The thunder is getting gradually louder every time as well. It's
Okay.
obvious the storm's obviously getting closer. The wind has started to pick up a little, although right now you're pretty well sheltered by the actual warehouse and the surrounding buildings.
I'm gonna finish the cigarette in a timely fashion. Probably have a hell of a headache and feel like throwing up, but hey,
Probably.
appearances are important. And come back around the building to see what my friends are up to. Also look up the sky and mumble to myself, so I knock it off and just keep going.
Okay, that's fine. You can see that they've just kicked the door open.
Yeah, I'm about to go in.
Doing the Lord's work. Which one that is, we don't know at the moment, but you're definitely doing the Lord's work right now.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Scion is very careful to point out that it doesn't deal with the question of monotheism. Like, it accepts that they exist, it acknowledges it, but doesn't give you a pantheon for the Abrahamic.
Nice.
That's actually kind of cool.
The Lord's work is plural possessive.
Yes.
Lord's S apostrophe rather than Lord S apostrophe S.
Correct. Correct.
Indeed. A Lord. We're doing a Lord's work. There we go. Forge got it.
And that's your grammar lesson for those watching.
All right.
Stay
so
tuned next week and
I'll
we'll
slip
teach
in.
you about math.
Yeah, going aside, it's largely what you saw. The kind of the blind spot you had based on the engine and the cargo container just reveals more empty floor. It's dusty concrete. The rails in here are still rusted, but not like the patches are smaller. The weather hasn't affected it as badly. This is more just like ambient humidity. There is obviously a hole in the roof because there's a large-ish puddle of standing water over by the like the shipping and handling door. But you can see a second door because that was in the blind spot that just says kind of like general office.
Ah, mosquitoes. Delightful.
Is the shipping container open?
It is not.
It is not. Hey, Isabel. Let's see if we can open this shipping container.
I could try
Yeah.
talking to it, but I don't think that's gonna help.
I mean, you never know.
Might open up to you.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Hey, if anyone in chat is not subscribed to this channel and wants to support such high quality humor as that,
I'm so sorry.
By the laws of puns, Neil, you are, or Liam, you are now our leader for the next half hour.
I support this notion.
it works.
It works.
Oh, thanks, Forge.
Thank you.
All right, puns.
Let's let's see if we can open this door.
Mm,
Okay.
So does it have like a padlock or anything on it, or is it?
No, it's the standard cargo container. Kind of you pull it and you lift, or pull down, lift from the bottom.
All right. There's usually two, I guess. You take one, I'll take the other one, Isabel. I'll try and...
Yeah, it's
right.
Rusty, but the rain hammering down on the cargo stein roof mostly disguises the sound anyway. And it swings open slowly and heavily, but it's empty inside.
Okay. Can I take a quick look around, make sure there's no sort of, I guess, residue or anything that might indicate that there might have been this drug there?
The only thing you really find in the in the cargo container or the warehouse itself.
Okay.
But which one?
In the cargo container.
In the cargo container. The only thing that's really in there is dust.
Okay.
You can
So
see
it doesn't like-
you can see like patches in the dust where stuff was at some point, but you don't know how long this has been here.
Okay. Come out. Don't know, guys.
Oh,
Nothing in there.
cool. What are we doing here?
Trying
Look,
to find out.
I didn't sleep well last night, and everything's been super weird.
Yeah, so just trying to track down the source of this drug. It sort of led us here.
Oh, right. Yeah, nothing here then. I don't know if I were trying to hide a bunch of interesting drugs. Probably wouldn't put it as somewhere as obvious as like a warehouse. Maybe it's in the river. Maybe it's under the river.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Submarine.
I don't know. Weirder things have happened, like dreams about almost dying but not dying. Anyway,
Many
Huh?
times, almost dying but not dying many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
yeah. Also, I think my brother's the god of lightning. That doesn't
I
make
mean,
sense.
I did not bring scuba gear, so whereas you might,
Can I die?
if they're floating drugs at the bottom of the river, I don't know if we're actually prepared to do that at the moment. And I think this is the only thing we have to go off right now.
I don't think I can die.
Are you okay, Michael?
No. Let's go check anything else out.
Okay. We'll come back to this.
Yeah, no, it's good. But
Should we go check out that office before leaving and then head down to the waterfront?
yeah, that sounds good.
yeah.
Also, I saw some paperwork with Cerberus something on it in the office, right?
The security office, yes, you did.
Yeah, they have some paperwork for Cerberus. So, for what it's worth, I don't think that Cerberus is actually a three-headed dog. I think it's just the name of something. So,
That's good.
yeah. But hey, with the days we've been having, might be a giant three-headed dog. I think weirder things have happened.
Track for it.
Can I pet the fox? Is he amenable to being petted?
About as amenable as any other fox would be to being pet, I suppose. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Fantastic. I will pet the fox as we
A
walk.
note on Rowan. Rowan is a 2-dot creature, which means Rowan is pretty darn smart.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is. I mean, I know a lot about foxes in general, but like, they're weirdly a mix of like cat dogs in a lot of ways how they behave. They also smell to high heaven, but that's like a completely different issue. But yeah, you can scritch them. They like attention. They like to be rubbed.
Cool.
Cool.
So you going to the office?
I don't know.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Office.
Okay.
I can see if Rowan will. Do you think? Would Rowan and I have enough of a connection with him being pretty darn smart to like send him in and like yip if there's a person?
Yeah, definitely.
Cadaver fox.
Yeah, I mean, when
Cadaver fox.
when I come to doing this for come to
Next
write
metal
this
band.
for hero and the characters are upgraded to hero, let's just say Rowan's not going to stay as a basic fox for long.
Yeah,
Indeed.
he is. I'm so pleased. All right, so I just shoo Rowan in.
Okay. Which door are you opening? General office or shipping and handling?
General office.
Okay. Open it a crack. It is unlocked. Rowan kind of slips in past your legs. You wait, and there's no yip. And then it just kind of slips back out of the cracked door and just sits on the concrete, just brush kind of wafting slowly, just looking at you.
All right. There are no people in there. Should we check it out?
Let's check it out.
All right.
In we go.
In we go.
Okay. Inside, it's a pretty standard cubicle-based office, really. There are no computers, although there are like obvious powered sockets where a computer will be plugged in. There's like monitor stands without the monitor, that kind of thing. There's a let's go with much abused looking photocopier kind of thrown against one wall. And there are ground floor windows here. They just kind of look out across a fairly wide, uncluttered expanse towards a warehouse behind this warehouse. The only thing marring the only thing marring the concrete is a box truck, kind of pulled up pretty close to the other warehouse, the one that you can see, and a series of tall wooden poles that connect a rather thick cable to the coming from or going into the warehouse opposite you to a building you can't see, maybe nearby. The warehouse you can see, however, is covered in graffiti depicting straight razors, pies, occasional motifs of "the truth will set you free," that kind of thing.
Non-Serbian.
So it
It's
looks like
these
a
days.
zip line.
Should we check out the truck?
Yeah.
All right. Can we sneak up? Maybe wiggle some handles. I'm assuming opening the truck is going to be quite loud, but
It is. Okay. So, as you leave like the office, the only way out is the door you came in by. I assume you're going down the opposite side of the building from where the two gang members are having a smoke break? Okay. You do see two people kind of in the back of the truck and two people coming out of the warehouse and kind of just wandering out into the yard itself.
Okay, so we've got movement.
The two in the truck, they're just carrying like a box from the truck into the warehouse. The two that are more obviously patrolling both have like a lead pipe or something, just kind of held casually over one shoulder. That all of them are glancing up at the two that are patrolling kind of glance up at the clouds, and you can tell from their facial expressions what they're saying rather than being able to hear what they're saying. The rain continues to fall heavy and fast.
I'll look around to see if there's anything I can pick up that I can defend myself with.
I mean, discarded rubble from presumably like building projects. There's a couple of sleepers from the rail system that it's like kind of presumably these rails go somewhere else and the sleepers are probably for that, but if anyone's tried to pick up a rail sleeper, they're really heavy. You would need like superhuman strength to pick it up. In mechanical terms, you'd need to be at scale 1.
Scale of 1?
Yeah, so kind of like giant strength. compared to a
Right.
mortal.
Okay, so not picking that up.
There
I'll
are
pick
kind of
up
bricks and general tools. So
Yeah, I'll grab a brick
Okay.
just in case.
I will use my words and hope nobody punches me.
If they do, I will try to heal you.
It's been a while, but I think when we left Isabel's car, I had said that she brought her tire iron.
You did, yes, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Delightful.
So yeah, Isabel remembers that she has that in her little pilot jacket.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to use the lead pipe tags for that.
That's perfect.
So, I mean, just again, because this is an introductory thing, you guys don't know much about the system, guys, and umbrella term of guys, you folks. And for chat benefits, weapons in Storypath, have tags associated with them. So the lead pipe's tags are bashing, which means it cannot it can't deal open cuts or anything. Narratively, you're limited to like bruising and breaking bones rather than lacerations. Melee tag, it's melee range. Pushing, which you hit someone with it, you can knock them back a range band. Yeah, non-piercing cutting, as Forge says. And then stun, which,
Okay.
pretty much what it sounds like. Where are my weapon tags? There we go. I scrolled too far, because it might be useful to know. The exact wording of stun, when inflicting injury, the weapon can only be used to inflict the minor injury conditions bruised, staggered, or stunned, or the major injury condition battered, but that's fine. Basically, you're going to be more incapacitating than crippling, essentially, with a blunt object.
Okay by me. All right, so what's the plan, guys?
I don't know. I'm not the plan guy. I'm the be a distraction and talk to people guy.
I mean,
That could be a plan.
The two patrolling get close enough. You can hear, has anyone informed Alan's widow yet? To which the other one replies, you're having a laugh, right? She's almost as bad as the barber. And then kind of there's a moment of silence, and then didn't actually mean that, and then kind of general conversation.
Who's the widow?
I wonder if it's anything to do with that body that washed up the other night.
What?
Liam, you did hear it mention about Alan earlier. Where was it?
Yeah, from the two that were walking down
Why do we have to do it? It's not like he takes any interest. Because he said so, you saw what happened to Alan.
Yeah, exactly. I think these guys don't follow what their orders are. They don't wind up so good. By the sounds of it. I don't like it. Ash, you probably know these. Do you know these guys at all? You recognize them, or?
You don't recognize any of them, Ash.
no.
These are older, like
Okay.
late 20s.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? Is again?
I mean, I could distract them, and you guys can bash them over the head.
I mean, these are kids, though. I mean, they're like, what, teenagers?
Late
Early
20s.
20s?
Late
Or
20s.
late 20s.
These
Okay, so
ones are
these
late
are...
20s.
They deserve it.
Oh, then fuck them. Don't fuck them, but you know what I mean. Like they know better. I mean, if it was kids, I'd be like, nah, let's just try to. But they're old enough and should probably know better by now.
Incapacitate, not kill.
That's fair.
All right.
They've probably done some pretty bad stuff in their time, I would think. They probably deserve it at some point.
I mean, incapacitate, not kill. I am not one to judge anybody's choices when they come from poverty. However, they are selling drugs to my kids. That is where I have a hard limit.
Compulsion.
So you got my back, right?
Duh. I mean, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
No, duh. Like, oh my god, I totally have your back.
All right.
Okay, anyway.
So I slip out and opposite way and kind of point for you guys to go opposite of which way I'm coming out. And I'm just like, excuse me.
They both turn,
And I'm
kind
like
of readying their pipes.
And I'm like sobbing and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm hoping there's enough rain to make it look like I'm crying. And it's like, my dog is missing. I saw my dog run in here and I don't know where he is now. And he's big and red and he kind of looks like a fox. And I'm just so worried. Have you seen him? Beautiful tattoos, by the way.
They kind of share a look. No, but you best go.
I can't go until I find him. He was an heirloom. Rowan!
They
No.
like they visibly sigh, and then one of them turns his head to call over his shoulder, and the two that were in the truck kind of appear as well. And kind of, we've got a dog to find, and then you're going, right?
Absolutely.
Fine.
You won't see me again after this, I promise.
They have a whispered conversation, like a hurried conversation, then three of them just tear off towards various different parts of the freight yard. One is still with you, kind of just keeping a wary eye on you, but the pipe isn't threatening you right now.
I'm going to try and sneak up behind him and give him a good old whack to incapacitate him.
Yep, that will require 2 successes over over the difficulty of the roll. So it's going to be a physical roll.
Yeah.
Open to skill suggestions, although subterfuge seems to make sense.
I'm going to go dexterity because I'm trying to sneak up on him firstly. And then probably a close combat roll.
Works as well. You get, let's check my notes because there was a thing here about this. Where is it?
I love this game because you roll so many dice.
Yeah. You
It
have...
just feels so satisfying, just like a huge
Isn't it?
handful.
You have a +2 enhancement because of the storm masking the sounds of your movement.
Okay, so remind me again what the +2...
So if you succeed at the roll, you get
Yep.
2 extra successes automatically.
Cool.
And the hitting over the head for the non-lethal takedown requires 2 successes as a stunt. So
I've got to get at least one. And I'm
as
good.
long as you succeed, we'll say it's difficulty. We'll say difficulty 2 because it's kind of wary still. So
Yeah.
2 successes and then is what you need to succeed at the action basically.
Excellent.
To approach it.
Do you see over there? Did you see? Was that red? Like, did you see something move over there?
Would you like to help?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It sounds like you're going for a social approach, so
Mm-hmm.
probably subterfuge is the skill, although I'm open to leadership potentially or persuasion.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, let's go with persuasion.
Okay. And obviously whatever social attribute you decide
Manipulation.
works for me.
That is a 9 pool. What's the difficulty on this?
As you're helping, we'll say it's difficulty 2 still.
Okay.
It's the same difficulty. So any extra successes you get over that count as enhancements up to 3.
So I got 2 on my roll.
Yeah. Like you've succeeded, you get to him, the storm's giving you the enhancements necessary to take him out. It's just, this is more about how well do you do it.
Cool.
Oh, okay. 10 successes. I like to show my big ones to the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's absurd. Unfortunately, you can only have 3 of them, but that's really impressive. Yeah. No one even you, Ash, no one sees Liam come up behind this guy and hit him over the back of the head with the brick. He just drops like a brick, actually.
Oh, and I just looked down and I'm like, guess that wasn't my fox. He just... we should probably hook an arm around him and try to drag him out of sight.
Isabel comes up then, looks at the ragdoll of a person, looks at Liam, and is like, Liam, yeah.
Holy shit.
He's and I check his vitals.
He is still alive. If you'd got if say for example you'd got 10 successes, he'd be dead.
Yeah, okay. He's okay. He's all right. I did it with precision.
This is what you know.
This is slightly concerning, but we'll talk about it later, I guess.
So,
you talking with, and I'll talk, and we'll talk about things.
So I actually have a question for the sake of flavor, mostly just to kind of show off what my character can do. Unbeknownst to me, I don't know if, so one of the things Ash is actually written to do is two things actually, something called Moonlit Cloth, and the other thing is called the bare minimum. What the bare minimum actually does is that if I ever had to perform surgery with something as simple as like a stick and a Band-Aid, I can actually perform surgery as if I had all of the medical tools at my leisure.
Yes.
The MacGyver.
Yeah, a MacGyver. And
Yes,
then
because...
the other thing is Moonlit Cloth actually is if used to clean a wound under the light of the moon, the patient gains 1 to resist illness and disease from injury, which is like the motif is like the soothing touch of the moon's light. I don't know if I could use bare minimum to like maybe have like a twinge of sympathy for this human being and maybe use like a bandana from my pocket to like tie up his head and maybe prevent any real disruptive injuries without making him wake up.
So the bare minimum means you can treat the head injury because he's going to have a head injury. He's been hit over the back of the head with a brick.
Yeah.
So you can treat the contusion and the slightly the bleed, and that's fine. You could also just like there's no bare minimum required for the recovery position, but that is what that is. The Moonlit Cloth would give you an enhancement to the roll to treat him successfully.
Okay.
But because it isn't under the light of a moon, they wouldn't get the
right.
the bonus. In this case, I guess to either resist concussion or amnesia from mild brain damage.
Yeah. Now, would this be something, I guess, based off of the story so far, would this be something that Ash would be aware that they can do? Or is this just something a goodwill, like, I feel bad because you're who knows why you're physically involved with this?
Based on the essential tenets of the adventure and that up until your visitation you have no idea that you are divine or that the divine has ever really touched you in any way apart from Michael who works for a cult of Odin.
Right.
All Ash would really know is that they're just naturally talented at making do in like triage situations essentially.
All right. So I'm just going to take a bandana out of my pocket. I'm gonna wrap his head and like hopefully that'll hold them together so his bits don't spill out all over the place.
Yep. You actually like brain this dude?
I mean, I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, wrap up his head a bit, and it's like, all right, I don't know if that's gonna do anything, but hopefully it'll help. Shall we move on? See if we can, get a little farther in.
Okay. Now that you are actually in the the courtyard area, you can see behind the box truck, which is still open. There is a closed series of roller shutters, big enough for a box truck or the vehicle, and a just like a closed person-sized door for like a two-step flight of stairs.
Can I motion for someone to like, maybe we should check the truck?
Yeah. All right. Turn around and have a look at the truck inside the back of the truck.
Indeed.
Truck.
Had this gone poorly, again, just as this is how mechanics work in the game, the truck would function both as a barrier, so block line of sight, and could be used as either heavy cover or full cover. Cover in Scion, I assume the same in Trinity Continuum, although I have not read that much of the TC book, but it's the same system, so absorbs injuries. It doesn't increase like difficulty to hit, it just absorbs injuries. Heavy takes full takes heavy, I believe, takes 10 injuries, and then in this instance, because it's a pulp adventure, that box truck would explode. But you brained the guy and sent the other 3 away, so are you going to the back or checking like the cab of the truck?
I want to check the back.
Yeah.
Okay, the back, the doors are open, kind of that little foldable step is down. It is currently empty.
Okay.
Sorry, read further in my notes. It's currently empty, but there are 2 wire racks bolted to the walls, like shelving racks. And there are, attached to those racks are like clips for either, do you know what I mean? Was like bungee ropes? Bungees?
Bungee cables
bungee
with
cables.
the hooks on the end and
Yeah.
the tie in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those. There are clips for those, or for like cargo straps or whatever.
Okay. But there's nothing in here.
But apart from the empty shelves, no, there is nothing.
Any ink on the shelves? Any?
Not that you can see.
Nothing spilled.
Fucking weird.
Okay.
Definitely looks like it's about to get loaded up, though.
It's either been loaded up or unloaded.
Is it dusty? Are the shelves dusty, or does it look like they've been
No,
used?
actually, the inside of the cargo compartment is like spotless.
Those kids earlier were saying that it wasn't going to be safe to be here in a minute. Why don't we find some place to hide further up, see if we can get up on maybe those catwalks or into the railings?
I want to check the cab first to see if there's a manifest of some kind.
Like a crumpled manifest from previous shipping, maybe. If I were them, I wouldn't leave a paper trail, but I don't really know anything about being a criminal, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm a counselor.
Most criminals are not.
I am. I talk to very interesting people, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ash, you checking the cab?
Mm-hmm.
The cab is as clean as the cargo compartment. The keys are not in the ignition and kind of like flipping down the visors, going in the glove compartment. There's no cargo manifest, there's no keys. The only thing that is there really is a GPS unit mounted to the dash.
I'm going to take the GPS unit.
Okay.
Cool.
Yoink the GPS, sure.
Yoink it.
I mean, it should have a history of searches.
Yeah, you would think so. Cops could do something with that, probably.
Yeah, so I'm going to yoink the GPS and slide out of the car.
Okay. What's your... Sorry.
I want to go up and check that door that leads into the warehouse to see if it's open.
It's unlocked. Like the handle moves slightly as you test it.
Is there a window or anything?
There is not.
No.
Hey guys, are you ready? I want to sneak in and take a peek.
Mm.
I was born ready. I'm fucking king.
You're Isabel.
The thunder's almost directly overhead now, and there are flashes of lightning.
So what's this cable doing?
It's going into the building or going out of the building. If you care to turn around to, try and follow it, it goes into a low building next to the river, where you can hear the when the thunder's not rolling, you can hear that grinding generator sound from.
Has the generator gotten louder?
Only in terms of you've gotten closer to it.
That's fair.
Let's have a quick sneak peek in here, then go down to the river and have a look down there if there's nothing in here. All right, with that I go 1, 2, 3, and I crack it open about that much, see if I can see anything inside.
Okay.
As the thunder rolls.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. Inside, through the kind of the narrow field of view you've got, I mean, you can obviously move slightly left and right to look a bit further. You can see the edges of like a couple of chairs, one of which does have a person in it. They're back to the door. You can see a curiously secure-looking door, almost directly opposite the door you're looking through. It's like a steel door, and then you can just about see the edge of a where you think kind of the because you've got the door you're looking through, and then you've got the cargo entrance. You think, based on distances, that it would be next to the far side of the cargo bay, whatever. You can see the very edge of like the top corner of a landing for a flight of stairs. You can also just hear quiet conversation.
Oh, can I make anything out?
With the rain and the thunder, you can tell there's words, but you can't make out the words.
All right, team, I'm going to try and sneak in and see if I can find out any information. You guys want to come with, or you want to stand out here and have a look?
I'm with you just in case we need to, talk to somebody.
Okay. If you're going to be stealthy, it'll be presumably dexterity, but realistically, the rules behoove me to tell you that it can be any physical approach.
Dexterity sounds good to me.
Yeah. So,
Plus what?
Might stealth.
Subterfuge or survival would make the most sense, but
Survival. Subterfuge is not Michael's thing. Oh boy. This dice pool is very small. Oh no. That is no successes and 2 1s.
Oh, okay, so that's a botch. Liam, what'd you get?
I just kick a wall because fuck it.
I've got 1 success and no botches.
Okay.
One success here.
Okay. Ash, are you sneaking into the building or are you staying outside?
I'm going to stay outside and see if I can turn on the GPS and go through its history.
Okay, so we'll deal with inside the building and then I'll tell you what you find. Liam and Isabel, you both managed to get into the building and kind of like duck behind some of the furniture that's been set up inside the door. In your kind of brief movement, broadly speaking, like a full 2/3 of the floor of this warehouse is just like a recreational area with furniture and like a games table, that kind of thing. And you duck behind it, but you do see there are 5 people just kind of lounging around. A couple of them are playing games, a couple of them are just reading, or what have you. Michael, as you try to sneak in the 4, not 5. As you try to sneak in, the steel door opposite opens, and it's kind of a rabbit in the headlights moment as the person leaving it just stares at you, and then cries out, "Intruder!"
If anyone over this issue.
Ash, you hear that as you kind of get to the like recent addresses section of the unit.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 going reverse chronological order. There are 2 addresses in Oakvale, one of which is kind of nearby, one of which is the other side of the town, and then there is an address in Fairview, which is a large city on the far side on the far side of the states.
Okay. Can I take out my phone and just take a picture of the screen showing the recent results?
And then kind of going further back, it's basically this freight yard, the same address in Fairview, this freight yard.
All right.
Repeat.
Well, we found the supplier.
Neat.
Yeah, so I took a couple of pictures. I'm gonna pocket my phone and then just, you know what? I'm not gonna, for the sake of evidence, I'm not gonna dump the GPS. I'm also gonna shove that in my bag.
Okay. However, it is now time.
Yep.
I've minimized Zoom again. Gosh darn it. Gotta stop doing that.
It's time to minimize Zoom.
Yeah. Time to roll initiative, please. So it
Oh,
is
dear.
cunning plus your best combat stat.
Cunning plus empathy.
Attribute. Oh wait, no, skill. Yes.
Leadership.
Yeah. If that's how you determine you fight, it just says best combat related skill plus cunning. It's entirely up to your decision.
Honestly, that's persuasion because I don't really fight.
That is true. That is true.
Hey, can we
Where is it?
have a chat about this first? Because you don't want to fight us.
I'm gonna do cunning plus persuasion.
I have
Also-
0 successes on close combat. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's an exploder. That's an exploder.
Well, the NPC's got 0 successes as well. So
7,
I got
Oh, God.
2 successes.
8, 2,
okay, so
3,
at 2 we
2
have a
explodes.
PC slot.
And it's another one. 6.
What?
Okay, so I have 3 successes. I had 2 explode, and then they gave me and then they gave me 2 7s. So
So 3 successes. You have to be demigod for 7 to be a success.
all right.
You get 10 again.
Then again,
Wow.
Nice.
I just
Yeah, no, I rolled 2 10s, and I had two right. Math.
That's fine.
I
you-
rolled stuff.
Did you include those 10s in the 3 successes you told me?
No.
Okay, so you've got 5 successes.
Delightful.
'Cause
Thank you.
The 10s count. You just re-roll them.
Yes. Okay, and they turned out with 7s. So, but I re-rolled the 10s.
Yeah, so that those are failures, but you still get the 2 from the 10s.
Delightful. So 5 successes.
And it doesn't... I mean, obviously Josh is gone, so we're going to wait for him to come back anyway, but it doesn't really matter, because I rolled 0 successes on the initiative for the gang members, so...
Oh, friends.
So we get to lump them up a wee bit, and then they get to. Oh wait, for the sake of being, I guess, crass a bit, I'm assuming my little fox buddy is not going to sit around. Does my fox need to roll an initiative?
Can do, if you want. I need to open the hero PDF for this.
I apologize with how spacey I am this morning. I don't know what's with my brain.
That's fine. I had
Yeah.
I had a D&D game last night, and I remember maybe half an hour of the 3 hours. So
That's fair.
And don't
And-
apologize. I'm sure half the world that is watching this now or later on as a VOD is recognizes most of us have been stuck inside for the majority of 6 weeks, and none of us know how to people anymore.
I
So-
never knew how to people.
No,
so-
no,
I
that's
mean, I
not
never
the
knew how
issue
to
at all.
people to begin with, but
I talk in puns now.
everyone's a bit spacey because we're all in the same 4 walls.
Oh no, that's
let's-
something I'm used to. It's literally that my ADHD meds are like, we're not working today, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah. We thought about it, but we had a decision, and we said no.
We just said
Yes.
no. You've been not sleeping enough, so we're not going to work.
It was a quorum.
Neurodiversity is fun. Da da da.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, could you roll, let's say 2 dice for the initiative for Rowan?
Bro.
Arrange some cables here. Dice tray there.
Baby got 3 successes.
Yeah.
Stop exploding!
It's not my fault, okay? Usually the app doesn't like me this much. You should have seen me using the app during the Under the Vigil game with Alan Turner. It hated me. Hated me. Gave me nothing.
Josh, what did you get? Sorry, I forgot to make a note.
Oh, I got 0 successes.
Okay. So, quick reminder about how the whole thing works. Your initiative roll just generates a player character slot in the initiative order. It doesn't have to be you who uses it, but basically all 5 of you, including the Fox, go before the gang members do. So, Ghost Town, basically. I will be looking at my phone because I'm using the Onyx Dice app as well. So.
So I don't actually have any fight stats for Rowan.
The primary pool is 6 for a 2-dot creature.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm assuming as a fox, there's some kind of hunting, fighting instinct there. So
hunting, fighting, probably lots of teeth and claws.
Yeah, so you just use 6 dice for fighting, and we'll say 2 for defense.
Okay.
Crunchy.
Catch. Almost like having a Pokemon.
I am the fox. I do the crunch.
They have defense of 1. This isn't going to go well. Okay, so who's up first? There's a PC slot at initiative 10.
That was me.
Well, it's anyone's to use.
Okay.
Whoever wants to do it. Who's
rolled
got a plan?
5 successes on. I'm gonna try and talk him down. That's my MO. So whatever y'all want to do.
Okay.
Probably a good starting position, and then we can maybe, I don't know, make him not really understand what's going on, and we can jump him from behind or from the side, or try and get him unawares somehow.
So there's one in the doorway opposite the entranceway. Sorry, I'm looking up because that's where I can see you easily, because Zoom's like at my rearmost window in all the windows I've got open. But I'll look at the webcam. There's one opposite the door that is your entrance, and then there are 4 kind of just scattered around this area. In terms of mechanics, the one at the door is in short range. There are, let's say, 2 in short range in the recreation area, so you can just move. You can move as a reflexive action in this, so there's no roll required. There's no difficult terrain. You just move to be in close range. There's one in close range because they're seated with their back to the door, and then there's one at medium range, which you would have to either spend your entire slot to get to them, or throw something at them, or you technically could move and attack, but it's a mixed action and it just lowers your chance of success.
Okay. Right. So they all intruder, and
Yeah.
we stumble in like a bunch of jackasses.
Which we are.
True. Michael will hold up his hands and basically be like, "Hey, look. Just want to ask a few questions. That's all. We're not here to fight. Don't think any of you guys want to do this." My mother has just walked in with something. What did you get me? Oh, thank you.
From Walmart.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. We're gonna drive to Justin.
I'm on a stream.
You guys do it. I'm really sorry.
Mothers.
No, she's great. I love my mom. She's fantastic. She's like, brush your meds. I'm like, cool. So anyway, guys, you don't want to do this. This is a terrible idea.
Roll the persuasion.
Sure. That's my favorite words.
That's almost like, technically speaking, the rules would behoove me to say, we'll do this contested, make the contest the difficulty set by the gang member, but essentially a mental approach plus whatever skill, which I assume to be persuasion.
Always persuasion. My persuasive ass has many persuasions. What a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
1. That's a splode. That's a splode. Ooh, 3. That's a splode. All of these are 1s. It's 3 1s. Yep, those are failures. Okay, so 1 success with 3 10s. And all of those are failures. So 4 total.
4 total?
Sure.
I only got one success, so you've got a choice here. You can use your you can use one of the successes to just kind of bamboozle that one for a turn, basically.
Okay.
And then you can either use the other three successes to just keep that one kind of bamboozled for 2 turns, or you can bamboozle the one with his back to the door for a turn.
So 1 for an extended period of time, or 2 for a shorter period of
Yeah.
time. 2 for a shorter period of time. CC is important. Godspeed.
Okay, yeah. So the one in the doorway kind of just blinks and is obviously very visibly taken aback by not like this is a gang hide at headquarters. They're used to people being hostile here. Your complete lack of hostility is confusing. The one by the door kind of seems to turn their head to look at the one that's basically raised the alarm and seems to be taking their lead from them instead of just reacting instinctively.
Okay, Liam's going to take this opportunity to get into close contact and smack one in the head like he did before with his brick.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Using cunning and close combat.
Yep. I will roll their defense, but you get enhancements because they're bamboozled.
And bamboozled.
Explode. Just the one success.
Sorry, 1 second. Just reply to the Zoom message. That was just a rough time frame, Amber. One success. That's all you need. He's a low tier enemy. He has a health of 1, so you just crack him over the back of the head with the brick, and he just drops.
Or we could do that.
Yeah. So we're down to 4 gang members now. There are another 3 PC slots before I get to do anything, so divide and conquer.
Isabel will charge in and
Yeah.
just holding her tire iron, just smash into one, just smash him right into a wall.
Yep, that works.
So-
When you say charge, do you mean you're just moving to be in close range with the 2 that were
Yes.
playing games? Cool.
And I'll do some might close combat.
I will apply the defense roll of 1.
Man, I got one success on this giant dice pool.
I got 1 success as well. You kind of trip over a low coffee table you hadn't actually noticed. You still get to them. You still kind of try to push them back, but you're too off balance. There's no power behind the blow. You just end up kind of in their face.
All right, I will remain in their face and be as obvious as possible, drawing their attention.
Okay.
Apparently by ask questions we meant cave heads in, but sure.
A little bit of column 8, a little bit of column 2.
You know,
Which leaves Ash and Rowan.
All right. So I'm assuming we'll go with Rowan first because I'm assuming Rowan is just going to try to, I would say, probably go for the tendon on one of the guys.
Cool. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. And that is 8 successes.
Hang on. Technically, if I roll loads of 10s, could defend against this, but no, that's a fail. So it's difficulty 1 because that's the lowest difficulty you can have. With the 8 successes, well, that one's definitely down. Were you going for the one that Isabel's got in front of her, or the one that was next to them?
The one that was next to
Okay.
her.
Because they're both in the same range band from Rowan, if you want to use Rowan's extra successes to take the other one down, I'll allow that as well.
Yeah, why not?
Because so essentially, when you hit in combat, you spend it on combat stunts. The basic one is inflict damage, which is just like it costs 1 plus the defense of the target to inflict damage. And if you get 4, you can do critical damage, which is just you do an extra wound to them, an extra injury condition. You had 8, so I don't mind you targeting a second person. So
Yeah.
that's 2 down.
And then can Ash scrabble for a dropped weapon? Like, did they drop anything that?
They didn't drop any, but there's like an ashtray on a table nearby that Ash can
Yeah,
pick
sure.
up.
Why not? We'll go for that.
Ash uses an ash tray.
Yeah.
An ash tray.
Oddly meta.
Leaving.
Is it as?
Ash can still do stuff if you want to. Ash, you can still even. There's one at medium range, so you could technically as a move and attack it just lowers your dice pool, or you could, if you wanted to, you could try throwing the ashtray, or you could stay where you are, or you could just try and brain the one in the doorway that's currently fixated on Michael.
Is this like a heavy glass ashtray, or is it like a metal ashtray?
It's solid wood.
Okay.
It looks like someone's inexpertly carved it, but it does the job.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can grab it in such a way that I can almost use it as like a knuckle duster.
Yeah.
As like extra oomph for punching.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to...
That was
So
mistake.
the 2 are down. What are the other 2 look like at the moment?
So the one closest to the door that you came in by, they're still taken aback by Michael's "we just want to talk" comment. And then the other one is at medium range, so it's quite a bit further into the recreational area. They look like they're just like basically ready to throw punches at whoever approaches them.
Okay. So I'm going to turn and clock the one by the door.
Okay.
Just
Please make that seem. You can pick your own combat dice pool as long as you can rationalize it.
they are a tiny human. Let's say can we say close combat and dexterity?
Yeah, that works for me. You could also use if you wanted. You can use like mental skills or social skills as well. Attributes, sorry. So
Attributes?
mental would be studying their fighting style. Social would be getting into their head and trying to overpower them that way.
Mm-hmm. And I think, but I think at the moment, because like Ash is just blindly cracking anyone within
Yeah, that
reach,
works.
I think I'll stick with the pool I have right now.
Cool. Make that
That's-
roll. I got 1 success. So
Hunting in close
Difficulty 1.
combat. That's 5. 37 successes.
okay.
What?
No, I'm joking. I got 5 successes.
5 successes. Yeah, they just drop. There's wood on like skull sound, which I've heard too many times.
Oof,
I
felt too many
I
times.
just low hanging cupboard doors.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're super tall, aren't you?
No, but we just have a low cupboard doors.
Oh.
I'm for average UK AMAB, bottom end of average height, but low cupboard doors that open quite a way into the kitchen. So yeah, and our counter extends slightly over the cupboards on the ground level as well. So if I stand up in the wrong place,
Oof.
anyway, yeah, he just drops. Him square in the temple around Michael, like kind of stepping around Michael, swinging wildly. There's a crack and then a thud, and there's just a boneless heap on the floor.
Oh. All right.
Look at this mess. I just cleaned this mess.
However, you can see behind him now, and there is a laboratory set up in the room behind him. Down to the last one. He looks at everything that's happened. At the fox who's just taken down 2 who are still alive but crying out in pain, and there's probably a lot of blood from, fox bite. And just turns around and tries to leg it through a door on the back wall.
Bye.
my heirloom cadaver fox.
That's seriously what Rowan's called?
No, no. I love it though.
Yeah. So there's a lab.
There
Yeah,
is.
let's go check that out.
Yeah.
Those medical professionals, even though I have no medicine.
Where is it?
I do. I
Liam,
cover
that's-
my face with my shirt if I can.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a just kind of looking around based on the medical equipment that you can see, Liam. This is a lab for refining something like the centrifuges and distillation stuff, rather than like a research or an analytical lab. There is a wooden box, a single wooden box on a shelving unit that could reasonably hold 5 or 6 boxes. The lid is currently on, but you can see where the whoever this person was who's collapsed in the doorway. There's a Josh. You've got a tail growing out of your head.
I do now. No, this is what my hair does 3 weeks into.
Quarantine.
You're just really excited to see us.
My hair wags when I get excited.
Oh.
I can't unsee that now.
Sorry. Anyway, you can see where there's like a small pry bar where they've just like levered the top off and then gone to check something and discovered you all.
Okay.
It's the logical inference from what you can see anyway. And there are on a small table next to the door. And this isn't a big lab. There's like a small bank of equipment, some counter area, and then the shelf. It's maybe 20 feet, 30 feet square.
Yeah.
It's not large. But on that small bit of countertop there, on like a test tube rack, in a test tube rack I should say, there are 3 test tubes full of what appears to be water with a printed label on them, which if you kind of step in further into the lab you can read. Yep. They're labeled Veritas.
Veritas.
Truth.
Indeed.
In Latin. Sorry. Nerd.
Truth.
That's fine.
Truth in Latin, is it?
Josh's cat's called Legea.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't think
As
anyone's
in,
going to be like, hey, I'm not a nerd here.
Oh, right. Fair.
Okay, so.
Truth serum?
Truth serum? Yeah, maybe. I know. I'm going to take a photo of it though, of everything on my phone.
Can I like pick up one of them and smell it?
One of the test tubes. It's sealed. Like it stopped it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
Because fuck it.
It smells akin to blood, but isn't blood.
It's clear, right?
Yeah, it's clear. And it has that faint coppery odor. Sorry, to it that blood can have in large quantities, but noticeably different.
There any gods whose blood compels the truth in people?
I mean, there's any number of judges. Judge being a calling, much like you've got leader and healer and whatnot.
Right, but ones that would be making drugs out of their own, or... this is weird. Hey, does it smell like blood to you? I shove it towards Liam.
I've still got my...
Right in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Strangely.
cork.
Yeah, everybody smell this.
Hey, this smells terrible. Here. Yeah, this is weird.
Okay. So I'm going to look inside the crate to see what's in there.
Yep. There are 20 small, like saline ampules full of a viscous black liquid.
I'd say we found the ink.
Is it? Yeah, open it. Is it ink?
So I'll pull one out. Yeah, I'll pop it and I'll have a sniff.
Yep, smells of old books.
As I
Okay.
stopper it again, put it down. Should we contact the detective?
That's probably a good idea. Let him know what we found.
Or might the cops, do you think there's dirty cops around?
Probably. Most of them are.
I mean, I think we should call the cops and also call a local news department.
Smarter.
Right. Much smarter.
Over the sounds of thunder, rain, you do hear the sound of a large, like large warehouse windows, like big square things that open outwards. You hear what sounds feasibly like like rusty hinges of a window opening coming from like
Shit.
above you and to one side, where the staircase is outside of the lab.
Rusty hinges. He's always a step ahead.
Curse you hinges! I'll get you next time.
Shall we hide again?
Yeah, sounds good. I duck under a lab table.
Okay.
Yeah, I duck behind the. How big's the crate? Is the crate big enough to sort of sneak behind?
Not really. It's maybe the size of your chest, but it's on like the third shelf up, so it's not even on the floor level.
Right. I'll get under with Michael.
I'll budge over then.
I'm gonna scoop up Rowan and I'm gonna like hide behind, like, is there like a filing cabinet that I can like squeeze next to?
Yeah.
Got like Rowan and I'm like
Fine. And Isabel?
Isabel's gonna try and are these like tall filing cabinets?
Shoulder height on an average height person.
Okay. She is going to. Are there any other objects in the room that one could hide behind?
The door, but apart from that, no.
Yeah, she's going to try and go just like behind the door where it
Okay,
opens.
that's fine. A couple of seconds of silence, and then you hear the same noise. Does anyone do anything? Or are you just going to wait?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay. And then there's the sound of like a lock, like a latch being opened. As you can only hear it because there's a temporary lull in the thunder. And then kind of footsteps on the like the metal mesh of a industrial like stair landing, essentially like fire escape landing. It sounds like the footsteps descend a few stairs, pause, then turn around and go back up the stairs.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. Let's give it
Give it
Like
another
30
couple minutes. Yeah.
give it 30 seconds and then
30
Are you,
seconds
hey,
pass.
are you emailing that news outlet?
yeah, I can do that real quick.
Yeah. News first, police second.
Agree.
I'm going to pull out the detective's card that she gave me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to text her as well where we are
Okay.
and
Yeah.
what we found. With some
Anyone who
pictures?
is using a mobile device, could you please just roll 1d10? And as long as you get above 3, you're fine.
That's on the floor.
As long as we get a 3
Or above.
or above. Okay, I'm good. I've got 1 success.
Yeah, it's because buildings like this can sometimes act as Faraday cages.
Yee.
But as long as you have 3 or higher, you have signal.
Yep. Cool.
What are you actually saying to the detective in your message?
Okay, I'm saying found some information about this new ink drug. may have stumbled across Ink Lab, then photos, and my position. Probably a GPS location.
Yeah, well, most images would be geotagged anyway, so.
Hmm.
You get a rather rapid reply of "Stay there, stay safe, stay hidden."
I'll take that advice. I'll show that to Michael as well.
You get a thumbs up from me. Michael is sitting there listening very, very intently.
Okay. Couple of minutes of silence, and then sounds like a fire burning upstairs.
Oh
They
no!
over here, they're destroying evidence.
Sir, I run upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No, we don't run away from fire.
I don't think Isabel's run away from anything since she's been like 6.
That's fair. I follow Isabel.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I'm
It's a
gonna-
good summation of Isabel.
I'm going to grab as many of those ink vials as I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold up my bag.
I'm going to actually try and grab the whole crate if I
Thing?
can.
Yeah,
Carry
it's not a big crate. It's maybe like
Yep.
7 by 4 inches.
Yeah, I'm going to
They're
grab that.
ampules. They don't take up much space. Most of it's packaging material.
I'm going to grab some of the truth serum stuff as well.
Okay, some of the Veritas. That's fine. Going upstairs, the door at the top of the landing is open, and you can smell smoke and see kind of firelight reflected on, well, not reflected, but shining on the wall nearby. Isabel, do you open the door? Assuming you do. Inside...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
No worries, no worries.
I was I was muted.
That's fine. Inside, clearly it's a small office. There's a desk, telephone, birdcage, and then it kind of by the halfway between the desk and a large window is like a waste paper wire frame bin, which is currently burning merrily as the average height but pretty well built buzz-cutted guy. His head, like the back of his head, has a straight razor tattooed on it, and as he turns to throw more paperwork from one of the desk drawers into the impromptu brazier, like his eyes are a brilliant piercing blue and framed by let's just say lorem ipsum and wonderfully cursive text.
Okay.
Gang leader.
Second glance reveals the presence of a pistol on the desk near him. You've got... let's just roll initiative, because...
Yeah.
Sure.
Ready?
1, 2, 3,
Yep.
4.
Or you can keep
5.
your previous initiative slots, and I'll just add his to the roster, if you prefer that.
That's simpler.
Yeah.
I will just roll his initiative then. Where is it? There he is. Right, hopefully I can roll more than 0 successes on this. 3. Excellent. Still pretty much at the bottom of the initiative. Oh, halfway up the initiative, actually. Todd. Okay, so there are 3 initiative slots before him, so
Okay.
decide who wants to take them.
I would like to leap over to the desk and grab the gun and point it at him.
Okay. You have a movement pool, I believe?
Oh, yes. I have a movement pool of 5.
Could you please roll those 5 dice?
Yes. Two successes.
Okay, yeah, you dash across the small office, grab the pistol and point it at him.
And I say, you've got really pretty eyes.
He accepts the compliment?
Using.
Is there anything I can use to put the fire out?
Not that you can see at first glance.
How big is the fire?
It's a waste paper bin, so not very big.
Does it have holes in it, or is it just like a metal bin?
It's one of the mesh ones.
Fuck. I was just gonna smother it, but if it's a mesh one, then that's harder.
Slightly. Sorry.
Okay. Is he holding papers?
He has a crunched up ball of paper in one hand. The other hand is empty and was reaching for... well, technically he's still reaching for the pistol, but... Pistol is now in Isabel's hands, so...
I'm just feeling like, wait! Because talking to people is what I do.
Yep. I will roll against this, however.
Yeah, how about it? Can't charm everybody, but I can sure try, can't I?
I'm rolling his
yeah.
secondary pool of cow others because he's an aggressive person. I got 2.
Hold on. Okay, that's
Joy.
2 explodes. 2 successes, 2 exploders. Hold on. Both of those are nice. Sorry, my dice are really hard to read.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
I think that's 3 total.
3 total? Okay.
Yeah.
For the sake of this, that'll be 1 injury condition inflicted, as you've just kind of like sufficiently thrown him off of his game, essentially.
Okay.
Because unlike everything else, Todd is a villain archetype, so he has more than 1 health. Well, I mean, you did come up against a professional with 3 health, with 2 health, but you kicked him into a group of his lackeys. So yeah, you kind of grab his attention and distract him sufficiently.
Okay. Cool.
There's another one before he acts.
So sorry, that's another initiative.
Yeah,
PC
another player slot. Sorry.
Landon, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I've got the stuff. So, do I like smell heavy amounts of smoke? Like because I'm still downstairs.
Right, we're
so-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I think the place is burning down at this point?
No. So with the door open, you can faintly smell smoke. The fire isn't big enough that, like you those of you in the office, you think that you only managed to hear the fire because something popped loudly in it, whatever it was that was burning, because you can't hear it any longer downstairs. But you have heard the sounds of running footsteps, and you did hear Michael.
Yep. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is hide the stuff underneath something that I can see that's nearby, something that would not allow other people coming in to necessarily see it straight away and then destroy it.
Sure thing.
I want to try and protect the evidence.
Okay.
And if I can, I'd like to start moving upstairs from there, if I can.
Yeah. No roll required. You've got enough time to find a suitable hiding place, and you can get about halfway up this flight of stairs.
Yep.
So that's
No
fine.
worries enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Todd's turn. He just kind of shoots a glare at Michael, as in like you can see you shaking him, but he's still intent on doing what he wants to do. I need to pull up my notes so I don't have to constantly check the dice, check the rulebook. Okay. Could you please roll defense, Isabel?
Yes. Let's see. Defense is 4. That is 3 successes.
Okay. He just kind of like shoots a Luigi death stare at you, but kind of his eyes hold yours in a way that no one else has ever have, and you can kind of...
They're really pretty eyes.
They are really pretty eyes, but just staring into them, you feel like if you were to look into this man's eyes for long enough, you would awaken to the hidden truths of the universe. Functionally, you cannot break away from his stare. You're essentially paralyzed.
Wild.
This is the Dread Gaze flare,
Ooh.
available to antagonists. You aren't blind, are you? I should check that, because it's ineffective against blind targets.
Nope.
Okay, yeah. However, he can do things... so he's got to maintain eye contact with you for it to remain in effect. But he can do things around it. It's just difficult, because otherwise eye contact is lost. But equally, as far as he's concerned, you're the big target, and Michael just tried to socially berate him, so...
Just say wait.
But you said it really well.
Yeah.
Forcefully.
Oh, my TV's
Or
gonna turn off.
firm.
I
With
get lost in those eyes.
You do. So we have 2 more PC slots
disappointed dad voice.
for Ash and Rowan.
I think because I'm still downstairs with Liam,
Yes.
so I guess we will. As soon as Liam has everything stashed, I guess we will start to move up and out with Liam.
Okay. So you're just going to follow like halfway up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of you can hear the fire crackling over the like the roll of the thunder.
Can I?
Sorry.
Oh, can I just shout up? Like, what the hell are you guys doing up there?
Yeah.
We gotta go.
That's fine. So everyone, both Michael and Isabel hear that, although Isabel is otherwise distracted. Like, you hear it, but you don't really pay much attention to it. So we're back at the top of the initiative. You've 3 player slots before Todd acts.
So he's staring at Isabel, right?
Yes. It's a very intense stare, let's say.
Creepy.
You know, it's kind of second verse same as the first with Michael, because he doesn't really punch people. Hey, look at me instead. What are you doing up here? What's going on here? Are you in trouble? Do you need help? What is this?
He can reply, so he just kind of replies, "The other one's in trouble."
Okay, typical unhelpful.
He's obviously moving to take the pistol from Isabel.
Yeah, no, I'm getting in the way of that.
Okay.
Would it help if I just threw a hand over Isabel's eyes? Effectively blinding her for a minute?
Couldn't hurt.
Can I move between them and put my hand over her eyes or something? Or just move between them? I don't know that Michael would really necessarily know to be like, yoink, block eye contact.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll tell you what. Where's the freaking thing gone? It's one of these. Yeah. I guess you could try to read the body language to notice something along those lines if you wanted to, or we can just say that it doesn't occur to Michael to do that.
Nah, I don't think he's necessarily that keyed into this person, but he is going to get between Isabel and him, though.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you can definitely interpose yourself between the gun and Isabel and
This individual,
individual. That's fine. Yeah, so are you happy with that being your turn?
Unless I can socially somehow convince him to talk to me. Yeah.
Okay. 2 more player slots.
I think. Can I have Rowan scrabble up the stairs?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So,
Are you guys
Rowan
okay
sees
with
the
that?
scene.
Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would anyone else like the other player slot so that I'm not taking up both?
Isabel, you're captured by his eyes, aren't you?
Yes.
Because I only have eyes for you.
I might as well run up as well and see what I can see.
Okay. You see the same thing. So you've used your move action to get into the doorway, which unfortunately means that if you wanted to then move and attack, it's a mixed action, so it's a smaller chance of success.
Well, yeah, seeing what I'm seeing, I'm gonna try and use my trusty brick against this guy who's moving aggressively towards my friends.
Okay. Dice pools for mixed actions. You calculate your dice pool for... I thought it was, but I wanted to double check. Calculate dice pool for each action. So it will be your movement dice for one, and your combat pool for the other, and you roll the smaller pool. Which you then have to buy off the difficulty and complications of both. So you can succeed at one and fail at another.
Okay. So, yes, I'm going to rush to him and try and smack him in those eyes with his brick.
Okay, go for it. I'll give you one enhancement because he is really focused on maintaining eye contact with Isabel.
Okay, no worries. So it's going to be close combat and cunning.
Okay.
Know what's going on. And sorry, how does the movement dice work?
So you have to roll the smaller of the two pools. So if your close combat and cunning is more than your movement dice pool, you roll the movement dice. Or
yes,
vice versa.
So movement dice it is.
I will roll his defense.
Throwing dice everywhere.
To set the difficulty of that. Where is...
There's an explode. That is 3 successes. And then there was the enhancement as well.
Roll them dice. Okay, yeah, you can get there and hit him. I got 1 success, so total well, the first one was a challenge. That was difficulty 1, so that's 1 success gone. So you get there. The second challenge, the contest to actually hit him was difficulty 1. So you hit him.
Cool.
You've got 1 success left over to inflict damage with. So yeah, you crack him over the side of the head with the brick.
Yeah, just bang into his eyes because I see those starey eyes and they're creepy.
Yeah, he blinks and for a split second the eye contact is lost and kind of Isabel, you feel this like you start coming back to yourself, but then his eyes are open again and you're transfixed once more.
Hoping one of those whelps up.
Is that 2 player slots?
3. Was the fox doing anything?
I mean, so I wasn't sure if the movement would have brought Rowan all the way into the room with enough time to also like try to hamstring the guy again.
You could do the same thing. Let's say just roll. Let's say roll 3 dice.
3? Okay.
Actually, movement for a fox is probably primary as well, so roll 6 dice. It's kind of left up to hand waving the actual dice pools for creatures.
Got 5 successes.
You.
Would you like to do the critical damage stunt?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's hamstrung. He is also on the floor. He has no health left. He is taken out. He screams as Rowan just appears behind him and then bites into his, calf.
Rowan saves the day.
Yeah, Super Fox.
He's still conscious. He's just taken out of the fight.
Fox Jack.
Good boy.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't, as much as this guy's probably a limey bastard, I don't really want him to burn to death in the fire, so should we drag him down the stairs?
Fire's in the trash can.
Yeah,
In-
it's a small
okay.
fire.
I was
And-
worried about it spreading.
Bottle of
out.
water? Anybody? Coat?
Only one of you had the fire purview, but you're not heroes yet, so you don't.
Anybody had a lot to drink lately?
I mean, there is a window nearby. You could just throw it out the window.
It is raining outside.
Done.
He's running outside. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, don't just like pick up the metal though, because you're gonna burn your
find
hands.
something to... Izzy, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, I'll take off my coat and use it to pick up the can and hurl it out the window.
Oh, you're opening the window first.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Give me an option.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it goes. As you open the window, you can hear the faint sounds of sirens, and
Back up.
you can throw the paper bin basket thing through the window easily enough. There's no real chance of failure. It kind of
Get
goes
this guy.
spiraling into the storm, trailing cinders behind it.
Get this guy tied up.
Okay, yeah, he's more concerned with the fact that there's a huge chunk of meat missing from his leg than putting up with the fight. So,
Is there a particular drawer or receptacle that he was pulling papers
there
from?
are 4 drawers in the desk, 3 of which have been pulled out and are empty.
Okay. If there's any remaining drawers,
There is 1 remaining, currently closed.
I will open that and look in it.
Okay. Inside the drawer, there are a handful of pens kind of bound together in an elastic band. A stack of small kind of rectangular pieces of paper. A small patch of birdseed, because there's like a hole in it and you can see birdseed kind of rattling around the table. Around the drawer, sorry. And a series of small metal rings. Not like pull tabs off of a drinks can.
Like
just,
binder rings?
yeah, just metal circles.
Like washes.
That's weird.
Yeah, like washers, but slightly thinner.
Do we want to snag him? Do we want to
Yeah, just in case I.
Just take everything out of this drawer and put it in a bag.
shove it, empty the whole drawer into my knapsack?
Okay. If anyone looks in it, there's nothing in the bird cage apart from what you'd expect to find in a bird cage, minus the bird.
What kind of feathers?
Grey,
Pigeon?
presumably.
That's weird. Somebody's using maybe messenger pigeons or something.
Maybe.
Do I know anybody in the city who uses carrier pigeons or homing pigeons?
Aren't they extinct?
Your no, carrier pigeons are not extinct. Your cult uses them sometimes for like ritual messages with other cults, but
Interesting.
like other Odin cults specifically, but that's just because the ravens prove to be too stubborn.
They do take convincing, and they're very opinionated. That's weird. Okay. I mean, what is this the kind of feather that belongs? Because I work with these birds all the time.
Yeah.
Like, is this the kind of bird that carries these messages?
It could be a carrier pigeon feather, yeah.
Yeah, but like specifically from the birds that I work with.
I don't understand the question, sorry.
Because I work for the cult of Odin with the ravens
Yes.
and the birds. It's a similar feather to the pigeons.
This is a pigeon feather.
Right. For the messenger pigeons. I'm sorry, I'm being
No,
very
that's
roundabout
fine.
in this question.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, Michael will actually pause by the birdcage, kind of look at it and go, that's not good.
I've been there too many times to cast judgment, so.
Yeah, hey, this is kind of odd because these birds, I'm familiar with these birds. This means potentially one of the Odin cults is in on this as well. Or they just sent a message. Don't know. Gonna have to make some phone calls.
Yeah. Let us know when you do. I'm gonna look for something that I can maybe tie it up with.
There's nothing in here, but there were lengths of medical tubing in the lab.
That works.
Yeah. So look after him, guys, and I'll run down and grab it and bring it back up.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Getting on the horn to the cult of Odin.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Watching Todd.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. You're reasonably confident of that. And what's Ash doing?
I think Ash is gonna pull out their phone and just kind of, you know what? I changed my mind on that because I don't want the human in the room who is he's conscious, right? He's just
he's loud enough to be conscious. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So I was going to without actually saying anything, I guess I'm going to pull up my phone with the photo I took of the GPS.
Yeah.
And just kind of lean over a little bit to show Michael and Isabel.
Okay, that's fine.
What is this? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right. Cool. Are we gonna wait for the police to get here?
I don't see any reason why we would have to.
Did my pen just die?
Your video certainly did.
Oh shit. Okay. Everything's just frozen for me, so I'm just gonna give us a second.
Okay.
That's fine. We're pretty at the end anyway, so.
Okay.
Right. So assuming the police are on the way.
Yes. In fact, when you are in the lab, as you kind of get what you think is enough medical tubing to tie a person up, you can hear sirens over the name's the wrong way around. You can hear sirens over the sound of the thunder.
Yep. Cool. I'll rush upstairs and tie him up.
Yep. Are you tying his legs, his hands? What are you tying?
That's hog time.
Okay, that's fine. Screams in agony. You move the injured leg.
It's wild.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's not going to die from it. I ascertain that with my medical knowledge.
That is true. That is true. As long as he receives appropriate medical attention anyway, soon enough.
You'll get it.
And then are you just waiting for the police to arrive?
Yeah. You reckon we just drag him downstairs, team, or?
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, we can hobble him down.
Sorry about that.
If it's not going to kill him, it'll only make him stronger.
Yeah, the police arrive. They as they open the door, kind of, you can see they've got the people that went out looking for Rowan in handcuffs.
Excellent.
And obviously they have the standard questions for you and whatnot, but they thank you for your assistance, but ask you to not get involved in such a dangerous thing again.
A chance.
Of course.
Yep. Totally. Never happen again. Promise.
And with a lead on the source of the ink, that is where the adventure ends.
Oh. All right then.
Yeah.
If that's okay with everyone. I can try and stretch this out for another 15 minutes, but that's
Shawarma.
that's the hero adventure.
Yay!
We all go get shawarma.
I was just gonna say we eat shawarma for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So if Liam had ever accidentally killed someone or been present at a death, that would have been when the visitation would have triggered.
All right.
But it didn't happen. Liam's father, for those who don't know, is Don, the Tuatha Dé death deity. One of them, anyway.
Very cool.
But hope you had fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Good
That's fun.
system.
So much fun.
Story. Love it.
You don't have to, but if you, I mean, you all have my email address, so if you do want to send any feedback my way so I can update the adventure or just alter how I do things, that would be appreciated.
For sure.
There's no rush, no
Oh,
pressure to do that.
I'll think about it, but it's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
Good, I'm glad. Do you as players have any questions? Does anyone in chat have a question? Or do you just want to wrap up?
How can we get this adventure? And where can we get this book?
Yeah.
Actually, good question. I think it's Indie Press Revolution have a sale on right now about Scion physical editions.
Mm-hmm.
There is a link somewhere in my emails or on Discord. 1 second, I'll try to find it. But the adventure is available on the Storypath Nexus and by extension Drive-Thru RPG, because they have the same back end and you can search on one and find them on the other, I believe. And it's pay what you want, because I made it on my show on the Onyx Path channel. Where is it? There it is. I believe if you follow that link, there's a Scion sale if anyone's interested in picking up the physical rule book. Obviously there's PDF as well if you prefer that kind of thing. I completely forgot how to type then, don't mind me.
No worries.
But yeah, the adventure I wrote on my show on this channel, which I believe I'm due to stream next week, I think is my on week, because it's a bi-weekly thing.
What's time anymore? Time is construct.
Yeah, exactly.
Time is, who knows what time is.
But because I do everything with chat's input, and because I generally don't like charging people for my work, which is why setting up a Patreon was so stressful for me. There's the link to the product. It's pay what you want, because I don't like asking people for money, and because there was chat involvement and not all the ideas are mine. So I didn't feel justified in asking an amount for it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Says suggested price $1, but that's just the default suggested price.
If people want to throw you $1, then they
Exactly.
should, because you do good work.
I have so far bought Trinity Continuum with the proceeds and Scarlet, so
Cool.
just reinvesting it. I apologize for all of the filler during that, but I was typing frantically to get the links. While I'm thinking of links, actually, there is the... Sorry, this isn't really in any way to your question, Amber, but... Monday meeting notes with the weekly updates about Onyx Path stuff. Where is it? And kind of the big takeaway from this week's Monday meeting notes is that there is a Kickstarter next month, assuming next month is May. I'm terrible at the calendar. For Mage Technocracy. April 28th, not May, sorry. April 28th.
Ooh.
For M20 Technocracy Reloaded.
Fun.
That's my birthday.
Nice.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday for the future. And
You said May 20th?
April 28th.
April 28th. Sorry, I'm...
No,
Brain, where is it?
I said May the first time, and then because I've got it wrong in my head. And to kind of promote that, Travis, who this entire actual play would not have been possible without, because he put me into contact with all the players. Travis is actually running a Mage 20 game for that Kickstarter to promote it with one of the writers or some of the developers or whatever. So check that out. That'll be on the channel. Follow the channel and all that good stuff. Those are the links. Anyway, I just scattergun information, and I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
There we go. Scion Book 1 and 2 are available together for 25% off April 20th through to May 24th through Indie Press
deal.
Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
If you like having Dead Tree versions of books.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Anything from the chat?
There are apparently
Is
not.
there have you written the next part of this adventure?
I have not. Right now I'm doing a Chronicles of Darkness introductory adventure.
Okay.
Cool.
Which, you know, I'll do the same thing. It'll go up on, well, it'll go on Storyteller's Vault, not Storypath Nexus, obviously, but same process with that. I don't know if I will be running it purely because this was hey, COVID-19 shut the world down. Onyx Path need programming, because their regulars, understandably, are having to rearrange their timetables and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll be running that, but after that, I will probably come back to this and do the hero adventure.
That would be really cool.
Demonstrate some more game mechanics and things like that.
Excellent.
Nice. Well, when you get the next portion of the adventure going again, like when you've written it, I would definitely like to come play it because I want to see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's no pressure then.
No, none at all. I'm
No pressure.
ridiculously busy, so there isn't any pressure because
That's right.
I forgot how to words. You know what I mean?
Well, this took 8 months to write because it's bi-weekly. So
Yeah.
and it's an artificially extended process because I'm talking the chat through most of the decisions I'm making and why I'm making those decisions and what I'm trying to get out of each scene. So it is longer than it ordinarily would be, but that's the concept of the show. So
I'll try not to tune in and ruin it for myself.
that'll be fine.
I just tune in and like only half listen, and that way you don't get spoiled.
You tune in and tune out at the same time.
Tune in and tune out. Yep.
Tune in, tune out.
I
don't know. I'm fucking. Excuse my language.
That's fine.
Brain.
Thank you for reminding me to remove that term from the auto mod as well.
Let the chat say fuck.
It was fucking ass was the term. It was
Fucking ass. Huh?
It was flagged for hostility.
I am very hostile, as y'all know.
However, today, in several hours, it's Pugmire on the channel. So I just wanted to let everyone know that the next show after this is Pugmire. Paws and claws.
Oh, I love Pugmire.
Are you
It's
a good
so
dog?
much fun. I'm not a good dog, but I have a good dog, so I can appreciate it.
Actually, I will also, while we're on the subject of shows on the channel, I'll be back here tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. for the Storytellers with Coffee. I'm guesting on it.
Cool.
Neat.
If anyone's in chat, or if anyone, any of you players want to watch that, I'll be getting real socially awkward on that with a couple of other storytellers on the channel.
I can dig it.
Okay, any other questions from players? Because chat's had enough time and they haven't asked anything, so that's how democracy works.
Not really. Just big thank you to everyone. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for this.
Everybody, and
That's
hopefully
great.
we get to all play again together soon.
Indeed.
I hope
be
so.
rad.
This has been a lot of fun.
And thank you to everyone, because obviously it's midday for me, but I know it's late. 11 o'clock when we started, Phil, for you?
It was 10 o'clock, so
10
it's
o'clock.
1 o'clock now.
Yeah, so thank you for that, and thank you for the
Right.
American players for getting up early. Although, hopefully having that hour later helped you, but...
Actually, yes, a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, because 6:30 in the morning. No, thank you.
We'll know for the future. Do you want to push your links again? Because it's the end of the stream.
Yeah, I can do plugs and then
Yeah.
get on out.
Okay, so start with Phil.
Sure. Find me on Patreon at patreon.com/PB Publishing. I'm making a world. I make maps. I make encounters every week, new monsters every week. Just come in, join the fun, and feel free to use anything that I put out there in your games. Mostly for D&D 5e, but I'm always looking at other things as well.
Cool. And there's Amber.
I'm Amber Lynn. You guys know me by the Rebel Selkie on most forms of social media. If y'all want to toss a coin to me, per se, I have a coffee linked in my Twitter. My Twitter is @theRebelSelkie. Yeah, I love playing games, and I love giving corrective criticism for games. So if y'all need me, reach out. I love people most of the time.
I did tag everyone on Twitter in the social media thing for this one, and it did mention the Onyx Path. So if you go to the Onyx Path, maybe you could see it. Or all of the Twitter handles will be in the PDF of the adventure anyway, when it is updated. Josh, would you care to
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Joshua Deach, spelled as it is on the screen there. And at Joshua Deach is my Twitter handle. That's where I'm most active, but you can also find my website, joshuadeach.com. And I also have a Patreon under that name where I do fiction and audio fiction.
Cool. And occasional voice acting credits.
Yeah, very very occasionally, but they do pop up.
Rune, do you want to?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rune. I am at Rune Sale literally everywhere. There's only one of me. If there's a Rune Sale, it's me. You can find me here on Saturdays playing a Disaster Bard on my own channel on Sundays, and then on Goldheart Gaming on Mondays, every other Monday. I play a lot of elves on the internet, but I also do art. So if you need art, hit me up because I illustrate TTRPGs. I'm a freelancer with Cubicle 7, among a handful of other people, and yeah, that's me.
Cool.
His art is really cool.
It is really cool.
It's really, really cool.
Quick, compliment the artist while they're present.
Funny.
No, stop. No, pay no attention to the person behind the art. You're not here.
The art just appears fully formed.
It's magic.
And I'm Ryan. I stream on this channel every 2 weeks behind the screen, but it's usually 9 a.m. EST or EDT. Who knows Eastern time zones? They make no sense. I also stream on my channel as Comrade Bubbles. I'm on Twitter as Comrade Bubbles. And then to confuse matters, I'm on Patreon as the Moonlit Bard, where I do also a 5e OGL compatible world building thing with player races and monster stat blocks, and the primary focus of that is just to provide like a fantasy atlas for use in your own game worlds. But because it's all my world building notes, I decided to let other people see, basically.
Very cool.
For my home game. That's really it. So I just want to say thank you, A, to my players for giving up their time, and B, to Travis for arranging everything. So virtual round of applause to everyone involved. Yay. You're all beautiful people, and hopefully we can help entertain people for like 3 hours. Cool. I'm terrible at ending streams. Terrible on my own channel. I've been doing it for over a year. So anyway. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone.
Bye.
Wash your hands.